Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. Now back on track with our normal schedule of news, and there was barely any news. So, great job, because it eases me back in. And we'll have a ton of news next week, because it's New York Comic Con this weekend, I believe. So,
I kind of forgot New York Comic was happening, honestly, because I guess this month was so eventful that you kind of forget some stuff happened.
I think also because Hasbro's just had back-to-back reveal streams, and it's chill. But anyways, we got some good topics today. We will be talking about the Power Rangers Heritage Auction. I have thoughts, and we will talk about that later. We're not going to jump ahead to that. That's got its own little subsection. You know what I forgot to put in here was, see, I'm still trying to get back into normal working capacity where this becomes routine. So I forgot to put the image in here of the, as it freezes to load, and hopefully it doesn't freeze me, we'll find out. I need to put the image in here of today's show. Boom, there it is. Boom, there we go. So, that's today's show. For those watching the VOD after this is live, I will put chapter times in there so you can skip ahead as needed. Of course, we will have title cards here so you guys know where we're at, and then this is the outline of everything we're covering today. As per usual, I have my awesome co-host. We got Ryan over here under the outline. How is it under the outline?
Help! I'm trapped. Save me.
You'll be saved when the stream is over. And then we have Fighter Kaus, who's free and clear to jump straight high into the sky.
Yeah, it's my day off too.
Yeah, days off are great.
AK, that's called Fighter Kaus plays nothing but Sparking Zero the whole day.
Funny enough, I was actually playing WWE the whole day.
So the live action shonen anime.
Basically.
Yes. I've been playing Sparking Zero. Last night, though, I did get tired. I was just like, I'm done pressing buttons tonight. I just turned off the game early. Because I love Sparking Zero, but I think I played so much of it in the last week, I was just like, and now I need a break.
I haven't been having able the time to play much because I've been so busy this week. last week with other stuff, so I just couldn't hit the time to play it.
Yeah.
Play it.
I've also been playing Fortnitemares, and they added a chainsaw, and I've just been running around chainsawing people left and right. It's fantastic. Commodore 64, I have Sparking Zero on PS5. I think we all do.
I think most of us here do.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you everyone who donated to Kaus.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, legit. Thank you.
Kaus got to do fun time. 3 streams last week with Sparking Zero.
Yep.
Yeah. That was good.
I was like, might as well make the most of it, you know.
Heck yeah. I got Dino King in the mail. Here's Dino King. Was he worth $80? Yeah, sure. Can you probably get him later? Yeah, probably. I'm enough of a Transformers Victory head that I see Transformers Victory, I buy Transformers Victory. Which is funny because the show is not that good to be doing that, but I love these designs.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I like Dino King a lot, but I think I'll take a Nami before I take a Dino King.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to buy a Lego set on the first.
Oh yeah, because
you guys know what Lego set it is.
It was the X Mansion, right?
The X Mansion. Yeah, it finally leaked. I've been hearing about it for months, and I'm just like, it finally leaked, and it's beautiful, and I'm like, I need that set. I don't know where it's gonna go in the house. I think I'll just have to figure that out later. But
what do you like about the set is I like that isn't specifically it's X-Men 97 theme. It's just comic based. We haven't got a comic based Marvel set in a long while.
I think
so.
Since,
just kind of
nice. The Daily Bugle.
Yeah, so it's just nice to see because you can tell it's 1996 because Iceman Super Chat from Mateki. I beat Sam with his own Ginyu and Sparking.
He did. Yeah, we did a. God, I did a body swap thing and lost.
Yeah, but the biggest tell you can tell is not a 97 set because Iceman and there was one other X-Men in that set that wasn't a 97. I forget. Was it Dazzler? No, I don't think it was Dazzler.
No, everybody else is in 97. Because there's Bishop, Jean Grey, I'll show pictures.
Mystique. No, wasn't Mystique? Jean Grey had like a Mystique face?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a lighting thing or what. Like, I don't. Her face is blue.
Because yeah, her face is blue, which could be like, oh, that's a Mystique, like in disguise thing, which is actually really clever, honestly, if that's the case.
We will talk about the X Mansion when it gets officially revealed, because I'm not going to show leaked Lego photos on this stream. I'm not like I'll show leaked Hasbro photos, but I won't show leaked Lego. This is
Lego does. I mean, I don't think Lego has a history of DMCAing leak images.
Yep. We'll talk about the set when it gets fully revealed, because I fully intend to buy it. It's beautiful looking, and it's so cool because it's like it's 2 stories and it's modular, and it's like they really did a great job with the X Mansion. And
you know what's speaking of that, I did love.
Also, it has also Storm is different than the blind bag Storm. They gave her the long hair.
Yeah, you know what's funny about let's take a Lego Marvel, because there's a new Lego Marvel thing coming, Lego Marvel Special coming this month, and I'm not sure you've seen the trailer, but like
it has X-Men in it.
It looked no, it's not even just X-Men, but like I don't know, it feels like someone at Disney told the Lego team, okay, you're free to use any Marvel character again, and they're like, finally, finally,
because
like not even just X-Men.
It feels shackled off because there's like X-Men there, and there's Demolition Man is like a thing.
No, there's X-Men, but there's also She-Hulk, Thing, Moon Knight, and
there is a listing
Ghost
for
Rider.
A Fantastic Four set coming out in March, which I think would be too early for a movie-based one.
Yes, I think it's gonna be comic-based, because it's just kind of weird. Because it's kind of funny because that special uses like a mixture of comic and MCU designs. It was obvious as Moon Knight, but like because there's a Dazzler minifigure there, and she's not any of the sets so far. So I guess a lot of times these specials use official like a minifigure design. So that thing could be
The one thing I did notice with the X Mansion though is it has Cyclops, Wolverine, and Rogue are exactly the same as the ones that came with the X Jet, but Magneto with the X Jet is the purple M
hero. It's the hero version,
and then the villain versions with the Mansion.
You know what's funny about the Cyclops in those leak photos? I love because he's using like he's holding his Optic Blast, because they're using like the Lego missile piece for his beam effect. I just find that funny.
Into a brick, yeah. I love the way they did Gambit's card effect too. I think that was super.
Oh yeah, because that's a Ninjago piece. That's a Ninjago piece they're using. It's a really clever reuse of that piece. Make it look like his energy. It's really cool.
It's pretty exciting. I'm excited.
Speaking of Marvel, didn't you get the Blackheart wave, right?
Yes, I did get the Blackheart wave. None of it's sitting. It's all sitting back in the set.
Is that gonna be this week's short?
It'll be next week's shorts. All
right.
This week I have my contractually obligated Radiant Black issue 30 review. So I was like, I can't. Oh,
isn't that the final of that arc, right?
Yeah, it's the final of the Catalyst War, not the final of the book.
Oh, we got a Super Chef World. With Lego X Mansion now released, what Lego Marvel property or anything you want as a Lego set?
Well, if so we'll just go like Fantastic Four set that's going to cost $60. I kind of hope it's just the Fantastic car with the 4 of them in it, because that'd be all I want.
I mean, that'd be a great another direct consumer set is the Baxter Building.
Baxter Building would be cool. I would also buy the Baxter Building. I would also like more X-Men stuff, because like there's no Nightcrawler yet. Now that they made the Mansion, I'm like, okay, cool. Give me like a bunch of smaller X-Men sets so I can just.
Funny enough, we got a lot of Ghost Riders.
We have every Ghost Rider represented for the main 3.
Yeah,
it's so weird. I'm good on Ghost Rider, but I do need more X-Men. I do need more Fantastic Four beyond just the 4, but let's just start with the 4. And then, I mean, a bunch of my other favorite Marvel stuff is just like almost, I don't want to say too obscure for Lego, but kinda. Like, I don't know what the market is for comic book based Guardian stuff, considering like nobody tries. So
it feels like Disney does not allow comic Guardians at this point.
Yeah.
It feels like that's the reason why we have not got any comic Guardians merch at all in these past 10 years of the Guardians.
It's very odd, and it's also like the whole point of like Star-Lord's helmet in the comics is the one from the movies, was to make merchandise easier, like according to Chris Anka, because Chris Anka was redesigning Star-Lord. and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was told I had to use the helmet from the movies because that's how they make merchandise easier." And it's like,
evergreen,
where's the merch based on the comics then?
Yeah, they tried to evergreen it.
Yeah.
With it.
94 Kun, while watching Star Trek, which or
super chat for Kama Jojo. When will you become a Yakuza fan?
Eventually.
Well, Chaos. Well, yeah, let's say Chaos. When will you convert Santa to a Yakuza fan?
Well, he just has to come to me. That's all.
I know. I need to like. I think
the
day that I finish Naruto is the day that my brain opens back up to new things.
The good news is with Yakuza, at least for the first 6 games, very, very cost effective to join.
They go on sale a lot.
Sale a lot for like $10 or even less
for the whole whole series. Like for the whole series, or at least up to 6.
That's legit, pretty nice.
At the very least, not going to cost you pretty much anything.
Yeah. Also, that was apparently the 5th super chat from Common Jojo, so thank you.
Woo!
All right, back to 94 Kun's question about Star Trek. Production order, air date order, start date order. I recommend production order because, and that's usually the Blu-rays and stuff have them in production order. It makes the most sense because start date order, there is logic to star dates in the 90s, but in the original Star Trek series, they were just making the star dates up. There's no correlation to them. So, like, don't worry about star date order. It'll drive you insane. Also, some episodes don't have star dates, which will drive you even more insane. I would just stick to production order. Air date order is not bad either, for the most part, but production order is pretty...
A couple shows where I absolutely say production order. Like Jerry Anderson Stingray.
Mm-hmm.
The air order is all over the place.
Ninja Turtles Next Mutation. They air the finale midway through the season.
That's what happened with Stingray. It's like, what the world?
Yeah, I'm always a production order first guy. Jeremy Carr says, Dragon Ball Watch Guy was great. Thank you very much. Did you know there was a 4D short from some ride thing, similar to what Gundam has done? Yeah, I've heard about that.
Is that the one with Super Saiyan 3 Broly or something like that?
Yeah.
God, Broly. But before the Broly movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of, what happened last week on the channel?
Oh, let's talk about last week on the channel. We got videos. Did you guys know I make videos?
I thought you were just a live streamer.
some days I'm like, maybe I should just be a live streamer and then make a video like once a month. It was a Freezer Resurrection. Okay, there's been multiple like ride video things for Dragon Ball. I think they're hard to track, and they never release them outside of the ride, so it's really hard to keep up.
Wasn't one of them a One Piece that became a 3D movie, or no? Because the one's a 3D movie, a separate thing, right?
Yeah, something like that. It depends.
The Broly one was called Dragon Ball Z: The Real 4D at Super Tenkaichi Budokai, and it had Gogeta and everything before the Broly movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I did a video about what I bought at Disneyland and Universal Studios. It's funny how I start with, I didn't buy that much, and then I made a 28-minute video out of it. So never...
With very wonky mic quality.
Oh yeah, the wonky mic quality was because I had set my microphone setting to auto when I was recording in the parks, and I came home and I set up my camera and just filmed the video, not realizing it was still on auto instead of manual. So that's why the audio is just really weird in that video, was because I completely forgot to change the microphone until I was editing, and I was like, oh, right! I forgot to switch it back to the manual setting I use. I don't like auto adjustment on microphones. I like keeping it steady, and then I can just talk. And then the How to Watch Dragon Ball, which nobody watched, clearly, that 2,000 views in 2 days.
I thought it did well.
It did very well. For all the lack of views that has happened for various circumstances in the last few videos, this one made up for all of it. Dragon Ball, synergizing it with Sparking Zero and Daima, it did very well. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Wait, quick dots in the first episode with Daima, guys.
I didn't watch it.
Oh really? Oh yeah, because you guys are Crunchy, right?
Yeah.
It's really pretty. Oh my god!
I keep seeing clips.
There's stuff there where I'm like, please remake Z properly.
I know, right? The reanimated Boo arc segments are so gorgeous.
I'm also kind of waiting because
I said he wants to.
I kind of want to like wait to go to the theatrical screening of the dub episodes because, like, I'm gonna all the way out there for the theater. Should I make it my first time seeing it?
I thought I was gonna do that too, but I remember, oh yeah, Dragon Ball fan like to spoil things instantaneously, so I better go watch it now.
It's weird that like with Dragon Ball, I don't know if this is just because I don't know, it's Dragon Ball. Like I see spoilers and I don't get stressed about it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like I don't know. With Dragon Ball, it's not one that I'm like hinging on spoilers for. I guess I think it's partially because like back in the day when if you didn't have the DVDs and weren't watching everything in order, like games would spoil you on stuff. Like during the Z era, I was like,
Dragon
I
Ball
never caught that part of the story.
Dragon Ball compared to other shonen series are like, I feel like it's not super story. I mean, it's the most relaxed shonen. Like it's the funny thing where people talk about like Dragon Ball power scaling and all this stuff, and like when you hear like, oh, this guy could blow up a whole planet, and I'm like, it's just funny how simple it is compared to every other shonen series, and like their power scaling is a lot more whack in terms of like this character can bend reality, or this character cannot get hit at all, and all that stuff. It's probably funny. Dragon Ball's like big man go boom. That's how strong he is.
That's the power of being a gag manga artist.
Yeah.
Going from comedy to battle shonen will do that. I think it's also with Dragon Ball, it's like I'm going to enjoy it whether or not I know what happens or not. Like the spoilers is not why I watch Dragon. Like basically like Dragon Ball, spoilers or not, I still enjoy it. Like even if I know what's going to happen because it's Dragon Ball. It's just one of those special things. 94 could mention that Daima confirmed it takes place before Super. Yeah, I got some comments on the video. I was like, oh, that was the worst thing I was worried about. Was I was like, don't pull a twist on us, Daima, because Kaus and I talked about this. We're like, it has to take place after Boo, before Super.
Yep.
Ed, we're like, it has to be there, and I was confident. I was like, I put it in here, and then I was like, don't screw it up.
This is my favorite thing about it. Favorite thing about Daima, because in Daima episode 1, they have Kibito and Shin defuse, so they're separate again. And as people are saying, oh, now Super's non-canon because we see them defuse in Super later on. And I just find that funny. At this point. Kibito Kai is like the linchpin of which timeline we're on Dragon Ball then.
And you know what's funny too? Is that in the last episode they fuse again.
Fuse back again. Yeah, because
some people are saying that they would do that.
Yeah, because in GT they stay at Kibito Kai. In Super we see them defuse midway through to be separate again, and Daima they're defuse from the start. So I just want to find that Kibito Kai all cares the linchpin of knowing what timeline we're in.
Yeah, I think because my biggest thing with it, because I even made a joke of it in the video too, where I was like, you know, this timeline's sticking unless Beerus shows up in episode 1, and he didn't, so we're good. Like that was my linchpin.
He's still asleep because I think it's implied that it's like pretty right after.
I think
Boo,
it's
like right.
I was talking
like
to some
right
people,
after
1 year after.
Yeah.
So it's even before Yo, Son Goku and Friends.
What was the gap? What was the gap for Battle of Gods? Was that 3 years of peace?
4.
4 years of peace. Okay. Because
Kibito Kai being the linchpin of continuity is hilarious, and but I totally foresee them having a strong battle, and like Kibito and Kai having to go, all right, let's fuse again.
And that's so you can become a playable character again in video games.
That's why I have a feeling, because as soon as I heard about the Kibito Kai thing, I was like, that's why they're not in Sparking Zero yet. I bet they're part of the Daima Pack.
Oh, speaking of that, people speaking of that, Sparking Zero, there's some people have been Daima in the game, and people have been finding a lot of the cut casts from BT3 into Sparking Zero. But I want to point out that I'm just gonna say, don't be super hopeful. Oh, we're gonna get those characters deals, like, because a lot of that could easily just be leftover data from BT3 to Sparking Zero, because there's a lot of leftover stuff from BT3 to Sparking Zero, especially audio. You could, especially because there was a moment while I was playing, I think, Gohan Story Mode, where I clearly heard Lyndon Young grunt for Frieza say Danny Mills grunt, for example, and I think what GT Goku has some Stephanie the Sohei grunts instead of calling Klinkabir grunts. So don't be super hopeful. That could easily have been some leftover data from BT3.
The one thing that weirded me out was the somebody found Super 17, and Chuck Huber quote tweeted it
Ellipses.
with an ellipses, and I was like, is that him being mad that it leaked? Is that him being mad that he's not actually in the game? Like, what was the ellipses meaning?
It's great. Yeah, the hashtag
Why did he acknowledge
it? Hashtag knowing smile. All that
I was
stuff.
like, is he showing up later? Or like, I was the only other one that I thought seemed likely was the Orange Gi Teen Gohan for BoJack movie, because that felt weird that that's not in there. So, yeah,
that's one of my favorite looks for Gohan.
It's pretty great.
As Jeremy Carr said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Join the Discord, people.
Hit the like button if you like Dragon Ball. Hit the like button if you don't like Dragon Ball. Hit the like button just because. There you go.
Dopamine. There you go.
Let's go through the rest of the video stuff here. There was shorts last week. Rogue and Destiny. Nobody cares about that one. I say 658 views is good. But compared to like, if you guys look at their other views on the shorts, it's like, wow, that was some pretty low interest. And I think it's because those figures are very what you see is what you get.
Because that 2-pack's so bland. Like the figures don't look bad. Just they come with nothing.
They each needed an extra head. I think the problem I have is they come with the same exact accessories.
Yeah, just hands.
Yeah.
They really should have included like Rogue's like 97 and like not the same head score as 97.
I don't think they could have because they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known at this point. It was this pack was too early for that to happen. What they could have done was had a hooded option for Rogue and an unmasked option for Destiny.
Yeah, I think that pack would have been better was to pack the whole family instead of just the two of them scenario.
And then Nami did really well because it's Nami. Also, I am getting addicted to doing the thumbnails like this because of how nice they look together. So,
actually, a little cohesive.
I even instead of doing my normal thing for a comic short where it's like my face plus comic, for the Radiant Black short for tomorrow, I made a thumbnail of like the 2 issues in the backdrop, so like it can consistently work with these others.
You know what? A part of me really wants you to do a review, a short on Figuarts Itachi, but you know the choking Sasuke meme.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I have the figures.
I wanted to line up where Tuesday would be Itachi, and in the thumbnails him have his arm out, and the other frames the other character choke. The other character choke.
I'll try to figure something out when I get Itachi. I have because he's in my pile of loot. Anyways, let's do a rundown of everybody in our live chat. Since we've gotten half hour.
Welcome, 94 Kun, Benjamin Wiseman, Jamie's World, Master Ben, Bizeki, Swift the Crow, as for Jason Toma. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. We got some really cool news this week. It's not like I said, it's not like super heavy news, but like there's some good stuff in here that I wanted to talk about. And you're going to hear the words deluxe edition too many times in like an upcoming segment. I'm just going to warn you guys now. There's like 5 deluxe editions we're talking about. Okay. Oops, I'm not ready to open McFarlane links yet. Also, Todd McFarlane just like announced like 1,000 toys. So
I know, right? It's like what the.
Welcome Zeltrax and Enrique. Let's get to Blu-ray news. There's only one piece of news this week I thought worthy. Media Blasters made an update on their Kamen Rider Blu-ray collection. This is the Shin, Zeto, and J set. The exclusive edition. It's officially in replication, so that means they're actually printing the discs now. And that they said, so sales will now be limited as we need some convention-only sales, meaning based on our math, that will leave only 31 units. So that is the set that has the slipcase and the booklet. But they did confirm...
Media Blasters is a small company. They don't have that much money to print that much copies.
They are very tiny, and they've been crippled like 3 times by larger corporations. They did say, though, this is nice to see, because we heard that they were going to do a standard release, like this is the Elite Collection release, they're going to do a standard release. The standard release will be the same Blu-ray disc, so there was a concern that it would be, that the standard release wouldn't have... There was a concern that the standard release would not have the bonus features.
But I forget, Kamen Rider World, is that a separate disc, or is that included in one of the movies?
And they put all of it on one disc, from what I understand.
Like all 3 movies?
Which is fine. Like, the longest movie is 40 minutes.
Yeah, they're not long movies, yeah.
Yeah. So, all of it's going to be on one disc with the bonus features. So, the regular edition will be the same Blu-ray disc, but no slipcase and no booklet. So, if you want the slipcase or booklet, get on the Media Blaster store and pick it up.
I'm glad, because I didn't want this set, but I didn't have the money for it.
$70.
Yeah, so...
So basically, the $70 price is to get you the booklet and the slipcase. But if you want just a standard version, there will be a standard version later that will probably be much cheaper.
Probably because I'm assuming we still need to calculate the Toei tax. 30 at the very least.
I would say I'd aim 40, and then hope for 30, 35 from like retailer discounts. Does that make sense?
Also, I'm pretty sure the standard should be available in more places besides the Media Blaster store.
Yeah, it'll probably be on Crunchyroll and Amazon at the very least. So that is the update on Kamen Rider. Comic books. Okay, so we're going to be going through comic book solicitations. These are in catalogs from publishers, but they are not guaranteed that these will be the dates they release on, and things can always change. I just want to preface that up front, because sometimes things get added to catalogs but don't make it to the solicitations. These are all likely to come out, though. I don't see any of these suddenly vanishing. But first up, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Pink Ranger Deluxe Edition. The listings for this was found like a week ago, and I didn't mention it last week, and I just thought, hey, we have a comic section. Let's bring it up here. So this is going to be a deluxe edition hardcover from Boom, so list price is $75, as we expect. This will contain Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return, which is that 4-issue miniseries that Amy Jo Johnson wrote. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink, 1-6, which is the miniseries that came out way back in like 2016. That was like, what did Kimberly do after she left for the Olympics or whatever?
That's its own timeline, right? Now,
at one point, it was the future timeline of the Boom timeline, but 100% its own timeline now, which is why I think it's a good pairing here, since The Return is also its own timeline. It's like two alternate universe Pink Ranger stories, right?
People say Dragon Ball is complicated.
Yeah. It also will include Reimagined from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th Anniversary Special.
Good,
that was the lead-in for The Return. So that's good to include. And there's a brand new short story, which we will find out what it is when it comes out, because they never tell us in advance.
So what's the one thing Suna and the deluxe hardcover for Boom Power Rangers?
We'll get to the next one. I'll give you the list.
Okay.
This is July 29th, 2025, currently set. 320 pages. It's a little bit shorter than some of the other deluxe editions, because it's 10 issues and 2 short stories. It still will have like a cover gallery and stuff to beef it out, but it's probably gonna be the size of the Beyond the Grid one, is my guess. Then the other deluxe edition hardcover Power Rangers is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Recharged, which will contain Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 101 to 110, Power Rangers Unlimited The Coinless, and Power Rangers Unlimited Hyperforce. So everything before Darkest Hour.
What do you think is gonna be the cover? Like, what do you think is gonna be the cover helmet of this one?
I'm not sure. I know for Darkest Hour, they're probably going to do one of the Dark Spectre Ranger helmets.
Because they done Green Ranger matte for the previous one. The previous one, that was the first Mighty Morphin / Power Rangers one,
and the
right?
second Mighty Morphin / Power Rangers was
Death Ranger, right?
The third one was Death Ranger. The second one was Yellow Omega. So I'm not sure what they'll do for this one, because we didn't.
No, will they do Zed? Is Zed the Zed Ranger?
Yeah, Zed Ranger happens during this, so maybe it'll be Zed. That'd actually be nice.
Does he have a name? Is it just like Zed Ranger?
I think it is just called Zed Ranger. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I did the Ranger ranking, but I think it's just Zed Ranger. For those wondering what hasn't been collected in Deluxe Edition, I'll run you through it. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Blue Centurion and Ninja backup stories. I'll keep banging that drum.
I imagine that's gonna be in the next Recharged edition, probably.
Well, I mean,
aren't they?
I
forget what.
Those were backups for Shattered Grid and Beyond the Grid.
Oh man, I thought those were Darkest Hour.
Yeah, stories. No, those they missed them. They should have done them a while ago. They may just end up in a Lost Chronicles. We still need the Draken New Dawn miniseries, which I thought might have been included in the Pinks hardcover, but they're kind of making that as like an alternate universe book, so I get that.
Is there enough Coinless universe stuff to make his own hardcover?
Yeah, but you'd have to duplicate a lot of it.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the problem.
It'd be a lot of double dipping. We also need Power Rangers Universe 1 to 6, which is main universe. And maybe they do something with Universe, Draken New Dawn, 30th Anniversary Special, Power Rangers Infinity, and Across the Morphin Grid. Like, put all of those in one.
I feel like a good, not like a good collection. They could just use, because I don't think just 6 issues for Universe is enough to make a hardcover.
And even 6 with the 3 Draken New Dawns only gets you to 9. But if you add in the 30th Anniversary Special, even if you leave out the
purpose of the Universe stuff is expanded universe stuff for Boom, right?
It's a prequel to the entire universe and the origin of the Morphin Grid.
Oh no, wait, no, not you. Because there's Power Universe with the Phantom Ranger, and then how many have they done? How much Unlimited has? There's the Hyperforce. How many?
All of the Unlimited is collected except for the Morphin Masters, which will probably be included in the next hardcover, which is the Darkest Hour, which will have 111 to 122 plus Darkest Hour #1. Like, that's my guess, because the Morphin Masters takes place during Darkest Hour. But it references back to Universe. Now, Universe had a standalone hardcover, but it's not deluxe, which is why we still need it in deluxe. And so I could see Draken New Dawn Universe and the 3 one-shots that we haven't had collected. Throw all those together into one as like a companion.
I guess, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then all that would be left after that is Ranger Academy 1 through 12, which also could be a deluxe, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But it'd be kind of nice if they did.
But the Power, because the Turtle stuff that's under IDW, right? The Turtle.
Yeah, and like the Justice League crossover was published by DC, the Godzilla crossover was published by IDW, and the Usagi Yojimbo crossover was published by Boom,
IDW.
But it was published by Boom, but it's under sublicense from Stan Sakai via Dark Horse. So I think all the crossovers, you can't throw them all together.
Because the license fight.
It would be nice though if we got like a third Ninja Turtles crossover, and then that could be a deluxe edition. Like a Mighty Morphin Ninja Turtles as like its own deluxe edition. But yeah, we're really close to having all the main Boom universe stuff in deluxe edition hardcover. They can knock it out in 3 more, like a Darkest Hour, a Second Lost Chronicles, or just call it something else like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Companion, and then like a Ranger Academy one, and we'd have it all, and then we'd just be set up and waiting for Prime to have enough issues to be deluxed. So that's the thought process there. It's nice to see that this leads...
When they do finish all these hardcovers, will you do a whole video about them?
I'll do like an updated video when they finish them all and be like, and now here is the order, and here is the like. So far, the only doubled up issues is the back part of Go-Go Power Rangers, which is good. So there's that. Also, I forgot to mention. The Recharged hardcover comes out May 6th. So that one comes out first. It's 424 pages. And then Pink Ranger will come out in July. Tentatively. Could be different. But that's where we're at. Any other further things on the Power Rangers hardcovers before we move on?
I think we said everything we need, pretty much.
Cool. Energon Universe Deluxe Edition hardcovers are coming out. And these are coming fast. Because usually they wait till like...
Because for some reason, Image is the only company that can release their trades as soon as the arc's over. I'll never say why they're the only ones that can do this.
I know. So, coming out May 13, 2025, tentatively, Transformers Deluxe Edition Volume 1 hardcover. This will be a deluxe hardcover of issues 1 through 12 of Transformers by Danny Warren Johnson, Jorge Corona, and Mike Spicer. Hellfire, you've only missed Power Rangers Deluxe Edition comics. Now we're on this.
If you read the comics.
So this is going to be the first 12 issues. The cover price is $49.99, which is not too bad, all things considered.
Are they thick hardcovers?
They're 12 issues each, so this one's 280 pages. So this
is going to be arc 1 and 2, pretty much.
Yeah.
This is going to be arc.
That makes sense then.
It's the first year of the book, which is perfect. And
I like hardcovers a lot, so
I do too. I was waiting because with how good these books were selling, I said I'm not going to buy the trades. I'm going to wait. They're going to do hardcovers.
Yeah, see, right? I might just pick up. Because I haven't picked up any of the trades for Energon Universe yet. I might just pick up these.
Yeah, my plan is to do like I do with Ninja Turtles and with Power Rangers and with Sonic, which is buy the singles, then buy the deluxe hardcovers, then eventually sell the singles. I haven't sold any of my Power Rangers, Sonic, or Turtles singles yet, but that's besides the point. Oh, it's funny. Blade Raider said, listening to you talk about Daima continuity. Ha ha ha, Kabito Kai. Listening to you talk about Power Rangers continuity. Eyes glaze over. Yep. That's my life. I love the cover on this, too. A very nice design that they can easily replicate for future volumes. Nothing really else on this one. The next one, not too surprising, but also nice. June 3rd will be Void Rivals Deluxe Edition Volume 1 hardcover, which will contain Void Rivals 1 to 12, as well as material from the Energon Universe 2024 special, which I imagine is the Void Rivals story from the Energon Universe special.
So far, the only one that's not been collected from that special is the Transformers one, which I really hope that's in either Volume 2 of the single trades or Volume 3 of the single trades.
I think the Transformers story from that special is going to be in Volume 3 of Transformers, because issue 13 really ties into that Energon Universe story for Transformers.
Yeah, because the G.I. Joe one was in Duke, and Void Rivals in Void Rivals Volume 2 single trades.
So basically, these deluxe hardcovers, for those following, are the equivalent of 2 trade paperbacks.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of people, read Void Rivals is really good. I feel like it's the most underrated of the Energon Universe because it's original IP.
I always sell it to people as it's G1 Season 3, but well written. Or no, G1 Season 3 with good art. Sorry, I forgot.
I call it Void Rivals. Do you really like your like that kind of high sci-fi fantasy stuff like Destiny or Halo? That's up your alley.
Yeah.
The Transformers stuff is a bonus because bonus, honestly.
It is. I think that the cover is interesting too. I think that Volume 2 will have the other main character on it.
So you get it's just Derek here, and then I'm probably Volume 2 will have Solia on there. Yeah.
The question is, I want this book to continue because it's still selling well. I've been checking the charts. It still hits the top 20.
I'm glad.
Which is good because it's weird to say it's a new IP within the Transformers IP, right?
Yeah.
Like Image and Skybound, or Skybound doesn't own the Void Rivals characters, but it is new characters as opposed to using existing ones. But this is exciting. And then lastly, June 24th, 2025, Codename G.I. Joe Deluxe Edition Volume 1 hardcover will have all 5 issues of Duke, all 5 issues of Cobra Commander, and the G.I. Joe story from the Energon Universe.
Yeah, I figured they're gonna do this. Just combine the 2 miniseries to one.
Yeah.
And also good smart name to call it. Yeah, Codename G.I. Joe. I think it's a good
because that means book 2 can be Scarlet and Destro, and book 3 can be the first 12 issues of G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really smart how they're doing this.
I also wouldn't be surprised if we see Codename G.I. Joe Deluxe Volume 2 before 2025 is over with Scarlet and Destro, because those came out at the same time as opposed to the other books. Like they can roll out a second Deluxe G.I. Joe quicker than the others. But this is great because the thing was, I saw TFW 2005 report on the Transformers one, and then I went looking. I was like, oh, is there a Void Rivals one? And I was like, oh, is there a Duke and Cobra Commander one? Like I was super excited this morning because these are going to look really, really nice on the shelf.
Also, really smart move to just call it. I think calling the Skybound G.I. Joe, Codename G.I. Joe is a really good way to kind of make it different from the Larry Hama.
G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said, it'll roll right into the G.I. Joe series perfectly. Like this should be a nice continuing set. I'm glad that these have hardcovers and we're getting them quick, so I don't double dip on trades. Because I have some Radiant Black trades, and now they're doing a hardcover for Radiant Black. But they did say it's only if that Radiant Black hardcover sells that we'll get to do more. Whereas these comics sell so well, I wouldn't be worried about longevity on these. Like, these are going to keep coming out. So
yeah, I'm really glad for these. I'm definitely picking them up.
Before you switch to, are you still on comics?
Yeah, still on comics.
Okay. Before you transition, there's something I remembered about G.I. Joe and all that.
Tell us.
The fact that Larry Hama and Toriyama are both being inducted
into the same Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Which is great.
I mean, who'd have thunk, right?
And they're both right.
I should see that.
And they both write on the spot, chapter by chapter.
It's true, yeah. They're both the same type of writer, right? Like, they're both not long-term planners. They're just
If you ever wonder why so many of these get retcon in Dragon Ball, that's why.
Yep.
Yeah, Toriyama was not a guy to go look back at his old work. He would just keep writing the next chapter. He didn't have long-term plans. He just kept going like one chapter at a time. And it's funny too because I know like Oda has plans when he writes One Piece. Like it's very clear he does. But the funny part about Oda is that he's admitted, I don't keep track of like character attacks. That's what the fan wikis are for.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual like quote where someone's like, how do you keep track of all these attacks you give in characters? He's like, I don't. I put them in the book. Someone puts it online. Then if I need to refer back to it, I'll just look it up on the online page that a fan made, and then I'll be good to go.
Yep. Why do you think so many attacks in Dragon Ball are just one use?
Yep. It's the same thing.
I'm pretty sure Giant Piccolo and Superhero was not Toriyama's idea. That was probably one of the other writers for that movie. Going like, hey, why don't we pop back Giant Piccolo?
Yeah.
No, Toriyama, his reply was, he could go giant?
Yeah.
Yep. Was Special Beam Cannon only used once in the manga?
I think so. Was it
I think
more than just the Raditz fight? I'm trying to think.
I think the anime used it more.
Used it a lot. But yeah, I don't know if
specifically, was it specifically filler for the anime, or was it stuff like that? Because I know, like, ever since Super Dive this became a main. I think it's one of those things where because
I don't remember Cell used it. I know he used it in the anime, but I don't remember if he used it in the manga.
I think that's anime only.
I'll let you know when I get there. I finished the first Viz Big volume, and I'm enjoying reading Dragon Ball again. It's a delightful series. Maybe Cell Saga. Anyways, Alice recently completed their collection of deluxe hardcovers, so they're excited for more coming. I still need to get the Mighty Morphin / Power Rangers book 3. Marvel.
I stare at my one Turtle IDW hardcover, and I'm going like, I should get more.
Yes. I just got caught up again because I just got number 16 in from the Target.
And also, like, I need to eventually get the remaining IDW Sonic hardcover. Well, I need to get them in general so I can sell. It's more annoying because I still have. I think I need one more hardcover to be caught up with most of my trades of IDW Sonic. I can sell the single trades and get the hardcovers because they're just one.
There's 4 of them out now. 4.
Yes, and it just got to issue. Book hardcover 4 goes up to issue 50.
Yeah.
50. So that's a good chunk of the single trades, but still not all of them, pretty much.
94 Coon asked with codename G.I. Joe, did someone say, and knowledge is half the battle? Not yet, but that needs to get worked into the... God, some of the storylines they're doing G.I. Joe in the Energon universe, I'm like, that better be a slam at a certain character when the truth finally comes out. I still can't
believe they turn Sea Spray's girlfriend to a Cobra member.
Yes, I love the Energon universe. So, like, here's Sea Spray's girlfriend. She's a Cobra member now. Let's see. Forever1000 said, I just started collecting the Power Rangers hardcovers using your video as a reference. I'm glad to hear that because...
Are those in print again?
You can get almost any Power Rangers hardcover right now. The trickiest one is you sometimes have to watch for Mighty Morphin Year 1 to pop up on Amazon. But Amazon, for some reason, over any other retailer, Amazon gets restocks of the hardcovers.
Oh, because
that's right. It was Powerglide. Smith the Crow. Yeah, it's Powerglide's girl.
Oh, Powerglide, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Sea Space is a space mermaid.
Yep.
Okay, we'll soon probably see her eventually knowing this universe.
SSJ4 Jason rewatched Hakaider for Spooky Month. Hakaider is an amazing movie, and it pissed off all the Kikaider fans justifiably. Like when I watched Hakaider before I watched Kikaider, I'm just like, this is the best movie ever. Why would anyone hate it? And then I watch Kikaider and I watch Hakaider. I'm like, I still love this, but I get why people don't.
It's one of the things I keep forgetting is Spooky Month because of all the other media that is not Spooky related.
I keep forgetting it's Spooky Month because it's 80 degrees outside.
Also, hey, good news, Sen. Another reviewer I watched also gets low viewed or Universal Monster videos, so you're not alone. It's just the YouTube algorithm really hates Universal Monsters, sadly.
Good to know. Yeah. Oh, Psycho says, on the Dragon Ball chat, when I was 13, I dyed my hair blonde when I first got into Dragon Ball. I wanted to look like Goku, but ended up looking like the not-so-slim Shady. Yeah, it's not just the blonde. You have to have an immense amount of hair to then spike. It's a lot.
I always love all those bad Halloween costumes of Goku.
I love seeing those.
Good times. You guys ready to talk about McFarlane Toys for like 5 minutes?
Crazy Uncle Todd's back again.
McFarlane Toys and the saga.
He never left.
Yes. All right. First up, this hasn't been like officially revealed. I don't know where these images came from.
I didn't know they were making Lightning Lad. I didn't saw.
They're making a Lightning Lad. It's going up on Walmart Collector Con, which is October 17th at 10 a.m.
Walmart
Eastern.
exclusive. Also,
Yeah.
man, McFarlane is really pushing the ultra faceplates, which I'm glad.
Yes.
That's such a cool thing he's doing.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm buying this figure.
Well, it's Legion, so of course
because it's Legion of Superheroes. He's $30, which is collector edition.
He's a collector edition figure.
He does come with lightning effects, which are reused from a Flash figure, which means they don't look right for Lightning Lad.
Which Lightning Lad costume is this one?
This is the Lightning Lad costume that Ryan Sook designed for the Bendis run. So I do not like the Bendis run. I read it, and I don't like the Bendis run. Okay, guys? I love the Legion, but the Bendis run just disaster.
It's Bendis. You answer your own question.
I will also say though that Ryan Sook had some really cool redesign ideas for the Legion. Lightning Lad's redesign was not one of them. I absolutely do not like this costume, and I'll tell you why. It's because he looks like Black Lightning Jr.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it looks like a bad design, but yeah, as you said that, yeah, he's one of those things where it just looks like Black Lightning Jr.
And it's because of the shades of blue they used.
Also, I'm not sure it's just the screen, but does the two heads have two different skin tones?
Yes. So the first head that has the swappable faceplates is the black skin tone, which is what Lightning Lad had during the Bendis Legion run, which did not help with
the Black Lightning
Jr. allegations. Yeah, like people when the art dropped of the new Legion and it was like Bendis' Superman, people were like, why is there a teenage Black Lightning on the team? The thing is that like
I'm assuming this is a different character that took the mantle.
No, it's the same character. He's just like it. The problem with Legion is that they always like reboot the Legion, right?
Is this a scenario where is this a classic? The timeline change to the race.
The timeline change and his race change. They also made several changes to ethnicities of the Legion, which I again not opposed to. But then they gave like Cosmic Boy a crime against humanity of a haircut. Lightning Lad looked like Black Lightning Jr. to the casual viewer. Because of the costume as well, like it, if he was still black, but he had a different looking costume that wasn't so Black Lightning looking, it would have been great.
You know what? The way you describe it, all I can think of is the gag from episode 1 of Shooting Shots Who Run. He steps, I think it was a Ruby steps on the butterfly and turns into a lizard woman.
Yeah, it's like that. He steps on the butterfly, turns into Lizard Woman. That's kind of what happened. And there were several design changes I just didn't like, but I liked other ones. Like I thought Phantom Girl looked great, and Triplicate Girl looked awesome. But there was some other stuff. So I'm still gonna buy this. So the thing is, the main head is the one that matches this bodysuit, which is the black skin tone, right? And so he comes with 3 faceplates. Then they also include a classic Lightning Lad head.
It's totally inaccurate, but it's nice to have.
It's nice to have, yeah, because this is never a suit he wore. But I'm glad they included both.
It's a nice what if.
It's a nice what if.
Or good for customizers to make their own.
Good for customizers.
Classic.
And I wonder if this is going to be a trend with future Legion characters. Like, are they going to include like the modern head and the classic head, right? Because that would work great for Cosmic Boy because we could get rid of that crime haircut. That haircut is a crime to fashion. Okay,
I'm gonna look.
Let me find it. Let me get you the collage right now. Because guys, sorry, my brain is always stuck on the Legion of Superheroes. I love this team so much. Smith the Crow said White Lightning. Yeah, no, the costume allegation doesn't change just because we switch the skin tone. It still looks like a Black Lightning variant.
Speaking of, did you pre-order the new Michael 2099? Yeah,
I had, but then I canceled him because he was coming in early, and I just didn't care.
You didn't want Michael?
No, skin tone discussions is a thing that companies drive me nuts with. Let me pull up some images of the Bendis era Legion. I hate calling it the Bendis era Legion, but I kind of just feel like
How else do you describe it?
How else do I describe it? Because every problem with it was in the writing. The man would throw every single Legion character into every single issue and give nobody anything to do. It was the most ridiculous thing. It was just like, how are we supposed to know who any of these characters are? There was like several characters that we had no idea the names of until like the run was almost over. It was insane.
People say Grey Wise had that. People say Grey Wise had the same problem, and to be fair, he does.
Did he?
But not as bad.
It's not nearly as bad because at least I understand who is who in Young Justice. Especially like with Young Justice and like the recognize system for like when they come through the Zeta tubes and they'd say who they were. Like that was really helpful. And the Legion itself in Legion comics from old and new, they would have text boxes that would pop up with the names of each Legionnaire and what their powers are. And then Bendis was so close to being a genius on this. He had it so that John Kent could see the little boxes of all the Legionnaires' names, right? It's in the story that he's seeing the little pop-up boxes. But then the word balloons and the artwork obscure all of the boxes to the audience.
Oh,
all right, anyways, here's Cosmic Boy's haircut that I find to be just a crime offense. Because it's also a mullet. You can't see that it's a mullet from here.
Oh, that's Damien from Batman Ninja, man.
Yeah. I don't mind the bodysuit as much. So there's that. Here's a shot from the cover of Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes, which was, thank God, the finale of this. Everybody got same face syndrome on this cover, but
yeah, very much. Yeah. Oh my God, the hair.
Yeah,
that's giving Jaime from Justice League versus Teen Titans flashbacks.
Here's another look. I like the Saturn Girl. Like I even like the modern hair on Saturn Girl. I think she's
it looks nice. I like that look.
One of my favorites. Gold Lantern's a great idea of a character. Never fleshed out. Here's another group shot, which I like. Let's see. I don't like what they did with Princess Projectra here in the pink stuff. I was just like, why is she pink? White Witch also looked strange. There's a Dr. Fate on the team, but they never elaborated on that.
Oh, I forget what's the name of the girl that's supposed to do 3 copies.
Triplicate Girl. Yeah, I like Triplicate Girl. She's cool.
Well, I'm not sure. I like the suit. I'm not sure how I feel about the visor. It looks a bit funky.
Yeah, absolutely despise this Dawnstar costume. Because Dawnstar is not Native American. She's from another planet that had, like, Native American influence. Her original costume had, like, tassels on it. She had, like, a Native American influence to her. But this design went full stereotype of a Native American superhero.
See it, yeah.
She's not Native American, though, so that
borders
on cultural appropriation.
Speaking of, by the way, shout out to the new Hawkeye in Ultimate Universe.
Shout out to new Hawkeye in Ultimate Universe. Oh, they're great. Then here, if you see this bald guy here, who's like right next to Triplicate Girl, that's Karate Kid in the stereotypical Chinese bald top knot.
Oh,
Karate Kid is Japanese.
Yeah, I like karate. I'm a fan of Karate Kid.
Yeah, he's Japanese, and yet they gave him a Chinese look. But did not establish that he was actually Chinese in this timeline.
Is that Timberwolf in front of Triplicate Girl?
Yes, he's very husky now.
So I'm not sure how I feel about that look for Timberwolf.
Matter Eater Lad has like a beard, which just makes him look way older than he should be for this group. Like, I don't know why he looks older. Element King also looked kind of weird. I did like the Mon-El design. Phantom Girl, where's Phantom Girl? She's like, oh god, she got like sidelined because she was also in Terrifics.
Speaking of, should we get to
real quick? Blade Raider put a good point. I'm not familiar with the Legion to know more than 3 to 4 of them in their normal costumes. This might be early Image 90s Image team book. That's kind of my problem too, because even though I know these characters, I sometimes am like, wait, who are you? And then there's new characters that they never elaborated on. Like, it's very frustrating.
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with the Legion. I think why so many people can't get into Legion because there's so many characters to keep track of.
And the thing is, a good writer on Legion knows that the way you do it is you establish that there's a ton of characters, and then you split them up. Paul Levitz did it really good as well.
I mean, that's why I think that's why I thought the cartoon was really smart, really good because They had it was like, sub teams pretty much, and multiple episodes with different characters.
And that's how the Best Legion comics run, where it's like, okay, and here's who's on the mission, and the issue would start with a splash page, and it would be like, here's who's on the mission today, and it would have their picture, and it had their name and their power, and you would know who they are, and you'd be like, okay, here's the 6 people we're focused on for this issue, or these 2 issues, or something like that. Or like, I think in the 90s they had 2 Legion books. They had Legion of Superheroes and Legionnaires, and so they just split the team like they did X-Men Blue and Gold. So you could focus in on the characters better. And the problem with Bendis's Legion was that he just had everybody in every issue, and I just didn't get who most of them were because they never slowed down enough to stop and go, this is who this character is, this is their deal. And they had a lot of cool ideas, and they had some new characters, but the new characters never got any focus whatsoever. It was very frustrating as a Legion fan. So, moving on. Simon Baz finally got a new toy.
Yes! I was so excited as a Simon fan. I was like, yes! Simon gets the love the Digi needed. He's been gone for so long.
He has not had a toy in like 10 years.
DC Direct, I'm pretty sure was the last time.
He's going to come with 3 faceplates, power battery, and 3 constructs, so...
Alright, I just wait. Alright, where's Jessica? I just need it. Now we just need the duo.
Is Jessica the only one we're missing now? Of the main
Guy.
5?
We're missing Guy.
Oh, yeah, we're missing Guy.
Still.
Yeah. We need Guy Gardner, but he'll probably come
and Joe. Speaking of...
we need Joe, we need Teen Lantern, we need...
Speaking of, my friend just finished reading Far Sector because thanks to your recommendation.
Yes.
God, because he was telling me about the book, and God, I was surprised how political that book gets. It's great, but I was so shocked hearing Joe's backstory of going, oh yeah, she got fired because her friend tagged her in a Black Lives Matter movement, and she got fired for that. Oh man, that's so close to the heart, real, and that's great. Great they put it in there.
Yeah, no, that Far Sector is so good because it wasn't part of the main DC universe when it was written, so it could kind of just do its own thing. And now it is part of the main DC universe because Joe's just flew over and just joined the main Green Lantern book after it was done.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad.
Yeah, I love Far Sector. The whole mystery. The whole murder mystery storyline is so great. And every time I hear about the HBO Lantern series, it's a murder mystery with Green Lanterns set on Earth. And I'm like, okay, look, Far Sector already did the murder mystery with Green Lanterns better. And then secondly, they did it on an alien planet, not on Earth. Murder mystery on Earth, that's just a Batman or a Question story. That's not a Green Lantern story at that point.
Yeah, that's a murder mystery. That's Joe. It's a dual lanterns. So it's Jessica and Simon. Why is it Alan and John?
Yeah. God, I got to stop talking about the DC universe before it exists. Mr. Terrific is the next collector's edition.
Speaking of movie tie-in.
He has a soft goods jacket.
God, why does he look so hot?
Because they used his Terrific's design.
Yep. They know. I feel like they know what they're doing when they did this toy photography.
The toy photographers at McFarlane get these figures to look better than they ever do when I have them in hand.
Yeah.
He's going to include a removable jacket, 3 faceplates, T-spheres, and an extra hand. I assume the extra hand is great for holding T-spheres or something. So
that sounds good. I mean, that's a perfect figure for Terrific right there.
Yeah.
Removable jacket and T-spheres. That sounds great.
We haven't had a good Mr. Terrific since Mattel made one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get Grid. Grid was the computer
Grid
virus.
Was evil. Was he evil cyborg, right?
Yeah, he's the cyborg of Earth 3 that infected main universe cyborg and popped out of him. That's how Forever Evil began.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really creepy and fun. They didn't list accessories for him. I think he's not coming.
Oh, right. How could I forget Grid? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I have Forever Evil in hardcover too, and I'm like,
that was a fun event.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I look back on it more fondly with every DC event that tries to do what Forever Evil did but fails.
Have you read the All-In special?
I read the All-In special after reading Absolute Power number 4, and Absolute Power number 4 made me want to stop being a DC fan, and All-In got me back in. So,
I haven't read it because money, but I heard good things about it.
It's good. It's nice because it establishes a status quo without banging the drum of and now all the tie-ins and the miniseries and you got to do this and this. It's just and here's what's going on.
I I saw some really good dark side stuff, especially.
It's got some really good dark side stuff. And also, stop using Amanda Waller and stuff, because I think anytime I see her, I just get repulsed now because of how bad Absolute Power was and everything that led to it. It's sad because Absolute Power was written by Mark Waid and drawn by Dan Mora, and I found it to be the most insufferable event I've actually ever read.
It was clear. You can clearly tell that DC kind of forced that project onto them. Feels like.
Oh, absolutely. Like halfway through, the entire thing derails, and it's just.
I mean, also, I think making that 4 issues for being such a big of they're making such a big deal. It's only 4 issues. Like what?
So much stuff happens in tie-ins that it's like how.
That's why I just stopped reading because so much was in tie-ins. Like
the cliffhanger of issue 1 is resolved in a tie-in, so that issue 2 starts. Like
it's Superman.
Yep.
If you didn't read Superman, you wouldn't know why they're in the Fortress of Solitude in issue 2.
It happened like so many times. I read issue 4 and I'm like, I guess I'll get the context for a bunch of this stuff later when it hits DC Universe. It's just a mess of an event. And my biggest problem with it is that the whole event is like, Amanda Waller's like, I gotta get rid of all the superheroes. And they never talk about the supervillains. They're not working for her. They're not like, Waller's not like, we gotta get rid of all superpowered people. Like, she's like, let's just get rid of the heroes. And I'm like, what about all the villains? Like, you have a couple working for you, like major forces there, but like, what about all the others? What happens when the superheroes are gone?
Definitely stuff happened because in Dark Crisis they were setting up something about Amanda Waller working with something. It turned out to be Brainiac, but that doesn't really lead into, I guess, because I know there's the Queen, the Brainiac Queen, but that's super separate what they said in Dark Crisis because that was more really set up for the
problem
Brainiac.
Too is that like it's like. We had War on Earth 3 lead into Dark Crisis, which led into House of Brainiac, which led into Failsafe, which led into Absolute Power. And it's like, can we just stop having every event lead into one another? It's exhausting.
It's hard to keep track. It's hard to keep track.
Marvel does too many events, but
getting better at it.
Marvel does too many events, but by golly, I don't feel like I had to have read Gang War to read Blood Hunt.
Yeah, same.
Whereas DC, you didn't read an event too bad. Like Night Terrors. Stuff from Night Terrors came back, and I'm just like, I didn't read that. What? Anyways, that's just for me to say there's an armored Batman from Batman v Superman. I don't have any thoughts on that.
I was saying, for some reason, there's like Todd's like, what's
cool?
Yeah, Todd's like, let's release all the BVS figures.
He's like, happy 8th anniversary to the movie.
It's like, what?
Okay. This Wonder Woman looks nice, though. She might fit the Justice League set better than the 84 version did.
No, because the 84... had them weird looking tree trunk legs.
She also had she had no sword and shield, she just had the lasso.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to get her to go with the Justice League because this one actually will match. There's also a Nightmare Batman.
Do you really want Gal Gadot?
No, not really, no. Hey AR. She's just the Wonder Woman I have doesn't match the Justice League that I have. She's too bright. All her colors are bright and sparkly, and then
needs to be dark. It needs to be dark.
I need the dark gritty Wonder Woman to go to the dark gritty Justice League.
Yeah. Speaking of dark and gritty,
hey, it's Nightmare Batman.
Nightmare Batman.
Also, 8 years later, this Doomsday finally got a toy.
8 years later, no undies Doomsday fights no undies Superman with cloth cape.
Yep, it's a 2-pack. You get Superman and Doomsday in a 2-pack. Maybe it'll come with a spike and a hole in Superman's chest. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Be like the Cell Saga Yamcha, because of the effect piece to have it be skewered.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool because I like the fact that it's funny. I don't have the Jiro Figuart, so I just have his arm. I just have his arm to like stuff through Yamcha.
Just pretend Jiro rocket punch.
Part of me wants to dig out the old Irwin figure and just pose it that way.
You need to be really clever with toy photography.
Okay, Cosmic Reject says the John Kent J and Dreamer forced romantic triangle. The what? Is that in the Super Sun one shot that I didn't read yet? Oh my god, how messy is this event? I mean, minor spoilers, but they kill off Dreamer, and then she's not dead. I did not like that. And then she comes back because John was dreaming about her, and she could regenerate through dream energy. And I'm just like, what the hell did I just read?
What? Yeah, I don't
have the context for it because it happened in a tie-in, but there was like one blurb because Waller's like, "How are you not dead?" And I was just like, "What is going on?"
I was not a fan of what they did to John and Dreamer in that event at all.
guys, I am so.
I'm someone who likes John Kent. I understand they have a hard time trying to have
the
something
worst
to do
thing
with
that
John.
ever happened to John Kent was that
age him up.
That aging up that Bendis did to him. He's never been able to recover.
Yeah, because I like the character a lot. I like what he does. I really like the character a lot. But man, writers don't know how to use him at all.
Nobody's figured it out. And I've seen writers of so many different levels of talent try, and none of them can crack it.
That's the thing. I like John when he's a supporting role because I like his stuff with Nightwing and during Tom Taylor's Nightwing run. But like when
Tom Taylor's solo book,
it's not great. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like trying to give a focus plot for John. It's really hard for some reason.
Blade Raiders watching original Super Friends and realizing the villains have reasonable and grounded motives. Yeah, original Super Friends is a wild experience. And they specifically talking about the Wendy and Marvin episodes. Those are
MG Klein isn't Nightmare.
I don't remember what era, but I remember one villain that actually they were like, we wanted to set the Earth on fire, but it's because we come from a planet that's really cold. We're not really trying to kill. We just want to be warm.
We want warmth.
I remember that episode.
I think a lot of early Super Friends was like, we must understand the conflict. I think that was actually kind of smart.
Andy Klein isn't Nightmare Batman for Justice League? Technically both, because Nightmare Batman did for it to be in BVS.
He was in BVS, and then they continued. Because the thing with, not to go on a tangent, Zack Snyder's whole plan was that there was going to be a Nightmare timeline, which would get built upon in each movie. And then there was going to be the main timeline. And the main timeline was going to be about stopping Darkseid from making the Nightmare timeline happen.
Also, Clark goes bad.
Yeah, because Clark goes bad because Lois gets killed by Darkseid. There's a whole you can read up on it online. It's kind of the plot summary for Zack Snyder's like Justice League universe stuff is insane. And I kind of want it. There's part of me that's like, I wish this would have happened because it would have been the most unique and insane things ever. But I'm also kind of glad it didn't happen because it's like,
no, I'm glad. I'm glad it didn't happen.
But it's kind of like basically like, you know how in like Justice League Unlimited, like Amanda Waller finds out about the Justice Lords.
Yeah,
and she's like, we got to stop this from happening. Like that's what happens. Like Batman finds out about the Nightmare timeline. Like, the whole thing with Flash trying to warn Bruce in BVS. That was Nightmare timeline Flash coming back to go, you gotta prevent this from happening.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
AR, that's a good point. AR says part of me wants them to go to let Snyder make a comic or an animated movie series. I think a comic would be great. I would love to see him like work with a couple creatives and just like do a cool comic. Because I think
Soundout
as an Elseworlds thing, I think it has like potential. It's just as an Elseworlds thing.
But Soundout, you know what? But you know one thing that Snyder fans hate the most? Comics.
I know. But maybe they'll learn to read and then they can understand literature and maybe it'll calm them down.
They'll say it's so non-canon.
It's true. But I would enjoy it because I think that's the thing with Zack Snyder's stuff. It should have never been the main DC universe for movies.
No.
It's a great idea for an Elseworlds, but not for a main universe thing. I think that's...
the linchpin is evil Superman. So that's already a no for me.
That's already like it. Anytime you do evil Superman anything, it should just be an Elseworlds, like just off the bat.
But that means I'm already disinterested already.
See, that's the thing, and that's the thing is that you could just that way you have just the people who are on board with it going over to the Elseworlds. That's what Elseworlds is supposed to do, right? It's like, here's an idea. Do you like it? Come see it. If you don't have to worry about it. Whereas like the problem with DC is they keep making Elseworlds as their main universe. And so nobody understands the characters because they keep doing Elseworlds as the main universe. And even the James Gunn stuff keeps sounding like some Elseworlds bullshit.
I guess I'm just... Injustice, really. I think over time I kind of grew a disdain to Injustice more and more and how much it damaged Superman's reputation to the public.
You know what actually damaged Superman's reputation to the public?
What?
Superman Returns. Because that movie was... so rejected.
About that movie.
That movie was so rejected that like Happy-Go-Lucky Superman was basically outlawed at DC.
I'm glad My Adventures of Superman exists, so people can recognize.
I do wish My Adventures of Superman's comic tie-in was better though.
I need to get back to reading that.
My mom and I are both reading it, and we both have the same thing of like, can we get recap pages because there's too much going on and they're not explaining.
Does it suffer from being a midquel?
It suffers from being... So, like, usually... God, we're on tangents, but whatever. If you won't read Batman Adventures or the Batman Beyond comic or Superman Adventures, the stuff that tied into the old cartoons, it was like each issue was like, here's an episode between episodes, right? The My Adventures Superman comic is an episode between episodes that's a 6-issue miniseries, and so it's so dragged out. But what's also wrecking it is that My Adventures Superman figures out how to balance the fun, like, slice of life moments with the dramatic stuff, right? But because you're reading it monthly, it has been dramatic stuff for the last 4 months. There was only fun slice of life stuff in issue 1, and now at issue 5, it's just like drama, into the world, someone's trying to blow things up, and it's just like, it's a midquill. It's just chill out and, like, have the Kents over for Christmas. Like, I just want the book to be like, I don't know. I think I just want the book to be like interlude stuff, not, oh, the world almost died again between seasons.
I think it's actually because, season 2 doesn't hint any of it, so it doesn't feel like...
It's like, none of this matters. Why aren't you just making fun slice of life stuff that doesn't matter? That's what I'm thinking. That's my thought, you know?
Like, all I just want, that's me, aka, what I really want is, if you do another My Adventures Superman tie-in comic, just make it all just Kara and Jimmy's failed dates. That's all I want.
Exactly. That's the kind of stuff I want. Young Justice understood that. Young Justice was like, let's go explore a little side character, or let's go have a fun little, like, flashback thing, and then sometimes the show would reference it.
I mean, isn't Young Justice newest comic just pretty much season 6 at this point?
Basically. Blade Raider says, I miss one and dones in comics. You should read Ryan North's Fantastic Four. Because almost everything is a done in 1 or a done in 2.
I had to drop that book because money, but it's such a great book. I'm probably gonna get that in trades.
Get it in trades. Or wait long enough and they put out an omnibus. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ryan North's Fantastic Four, almost every issue is either a done in 1 or a done in 2. My favorite issue. The only one that was done in 3 was the Blood Hunt crossover. The tie-in.
That was some great stuff. That's some great stuff there.
So good. Reed Richards is like, I'm going to fight vampires.
One of my favorite issues. It's just Johnny and Ben trying to compete in his supermarket employees.
The most recent issue was Johnny and Reed were left home alone while Sue, Alicia, Ben, and the kids went out trick-or-treating. And like, and so the thing is that the whole issue is framed around Johnny apologizing for what happened. Because apparently Johnny and Reed left together enable each other's worst ideas. Because somebody needs to tell Reed no, and somebody needs to tell Johnny no. And when no one's around to do that...
this is a disaster.
It was amazing. And that's what I love about the comic, is it's just like, they're gonna do tie-in issues to events, like they have to, but it for the most part just kind of hangs out in its own little corner.
So some people complain about the Tim Story Fantastic Four film being like half sitcom, but that is Fantastic Four. It's part of DNA.
It really is. All right, let's get to some Bandai news. Bandai news. You guys ready? There was a model kit expo for Bandai Hobby. And Obelisk the Tormentor is the next Egyptian god to get made into Figuarts amplified.
Is it really amplified? It looks like Obelisk to me.
I think amplified is referring to the size.
Yeah, because my god, he's a big boy.
And you can see this blacked out silhouette wing in the back, and if you look at the wide shot,
Slifer no slicing.
Slifer did have a tease. Ra was the first one. Now we have Obelisk. And
what's your guys' favorite Egyptian god? What's your guys' favorite Egyptian god? Because it's always been Obelisk for me.
It's okay. My favorite used to be Slifer, and until Kaiba summoning Obelisk in Dark Side Dimensions, and now Obelisk is my favorite.
I just love Obelisk design, just big diamond like rock man.
What about you, Cass? Cool. Which one's your favorite?
I'm trying to think, because I used to like Slifer a lot, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Obelisk too.
We're all Obelisk blue,
and not just because you guys, because I actually like how he gets summoned.
Like yeah.
So we're all Obelisk blue members then.
I guess so.
No Slifer Reds here.
No Slifer Reds here. AR says, speaking of the Fantastic Four, what are your thoughts on that Doctor Doom YouTube channel? That one guy on YouTube it's like role playing Doctor Doom. and like making videos slandering the Fantastic Four. Top tier stuff.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm glad that the Figuarts Yu-Gi-Oh kits are continuing because it's going to be a cool set when they're done. You guys got any final thoughts on these?
I basically want to pick up like the problem because that's the thing. I basically want to pick them up then, but it's the same problem I had with Digimon. Not the kits themselves, but space because they're big kits.
Yep.
I don't know where to put them.
Did I squeeze Metal Greymon back there? I still haven't squeezed Metal Greymon into the shelf.
I haven't got Metal Greymon yet. Not because I don't want. I do.
Space.
But Space. Is Ultraman out yet?
He's out in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh god.
I do because I do want to get him
too. Anyways, Sacred Beast from GT. Is that on the docket now? The three Egyptian godlike cards. Is that what they're called?
From GX. From GX.
From GX, yeah.
They said GT. I was so confused.
I did say GT.
I was like, yeah, he said GT. I was like, do you mean the Shadow Dragons?
Guys, my life has been Dragon Ball for the last like 2 weeks making that video. I'm sorry. My brain went G and then just filled it in with T. I didn't even.
I mean, the Junk War should be perfect for this line. Honestly,
it would be. I don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh licensing works.
No, you love your synchrons.
I do love my synchrons. Where's my Stardust? I want my Stardust Dragon in something.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's
because I know Kyoto has.
Junk Warrior.
Because Kyoto, not Kyoto. A Good Smile for their Monoroid design line has been doing. I think Arc 5, Zexel, and Brain skits. Yeah. So, but we don't know who has the rights, and looks like Bandai has the rights to her dual monsters, but we don't know. But GX and 5Ds are still up in the air.
Bandai has GX because they made Monster Arts Flame Wingman.
Oh yeah. So we just need to see who has the rights to 5Ds.
Yeah, because currently Kyoto's the only one that's doing anything with 5Ds.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are great. All right, let's go to the next thing. Real Grade Shining Gundam. For once, a G Gundam kit wasn't announced while I was streaming.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Wait, Shining Gundam's the upgraded form or the pre-upgraded
Shining Gundam's the first form.
First one, yeah.
Then it becomes God.
Jeremy Carr, I have the Ninja Turtles Complete Series DVD on order. It's supposed to get delivered tomorrow. I'll have a video out probably Friday.
A lot of people prefer Shining Gundam, so this is
good
news
for them.
HG Shining Gundam was my first Gunpla, guys.
Funny enough, my first Gunpla was the God Gundam.
Oh, nice.
Mine was Strike Freedom, because that was before I knew anything.
Well, then I finished, because when I was a little kid, the RX-78 was actually my first, but I was too little and just threw pieces away.
My first Gundam in general was the Bandai America's SD Gundam line. It was like a gold version of Shining Gundam. God Gundam has the thing that has the chest opening gimmick, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a gold God Gundam and a gold Master Gundam SD like 2-pack thing.
I remember that 2-pack. Yeah.
They're actually real good figures. I sadly destroyed them because baby. But they were good toys. I remember those.
Yeah, that was a good line. Let's see. Common Jojo asked about the Power Rangers auction. We will be talking about that. We're just not there yet.
Yeah.
The thing I find interesting is it has the super mode, but it looks like, and this is just a guess from this shot here, I think you can transform it to super mode without parts forming. Because the feet sliding forward could be an RG type thing.
Yeah, knowing Real Grade is probably you don't have the parts form.
Yeah, I think the head you still have to swap out because these don't look like they fold down.
It's too small. It's too small to do it.
But the faceplate does look like it's on hinges, so you can at least replicate the shot where the flaps are up before the mouth plate opens. So I'm hyped. I'm so excited for this because I love The Shining.
I really need to rewatch it. I am not rewatching it in years.
You should. You start and you'll never stop, and you'll finish it in one go.
No, I love Gundam. It's been so long. I really should.
Yeah. I think the last time I watched it in full was when I watched it on the Blu-ray. The other thing is I'm expecting Rising to get made out of this. We've been wondering where Rising Gundam is because they already had the high-grade Shining mold. But now I'm like, oh, okay, I think we're going to get Rising off of the real grade. Because that would make sense. Or they just forget to do Rising again. That could happen.
A lot of the G Gundam kits do really need upgrades because they're old.
I know. I have a feeling that they had a display and it had Master and Nobel and next to Dragon, Rose, and Maxter, and they just did not look as good.
They need to be like I think they're probably gonna get real grades.
I think Master will get a real grade. I think Nobel might get a HG 2.0. And we still need an HG Bolt Gundam. So
have they done the Windmill Dude?
They haven't done the Windmill Dude, but we need to do Gundam Spiegel / Shadow Gundam as well. So there's still some heavy hitters to do, but I'm glad to see we're getting a real grade of. They kind of seem to be doing this. They did this with Wing as well, where it's like real grade main mobile suit, high grade everybody else. So real grade Gundam X Win.
Which makes sense because they don't really do side mechs in real grades. Usually just hero, villain, usually.
Right. And that's why I see Master getting a real grade. And also be nice because we can get a Master Gundam.
Horse.
Because hopefully the horse actually is articulated this time because it's kind of a statue on the HD. And it'd also be cool to get Master Gundam where the cape actually folds as opposed to being swapping parts. So I'm excited there's more G Gundam stuff. That's the hype part.
That's actually one of the most underrated toy lines is Bandai America's G Gundam action figure line. That was some really cool stuff besides some of the weird color schemes they had.
All right. And then lastly, there is, and this is in the Bandai world, the Soul Chogokin Dimension pliers for the Soul Chogokin Gao Gaigar got revealed. And these are 3 little robot dudes that become these pliers to open up dimensional spaces. I love Gao
These
Gaigar.
are not the same. I forget. It's been a bit. These are not the same robots that do the cleanup, right?
Yes, they are.
Or are they the same? Okay, they are the same. Okay.
They are the same. It's just 3. If you get one of each type together, they can make a pliers. They do all the cleanup as well. Yeah.
For some reason, I forgot this. Cause I remember the pliers, but I keep forgetting they did this in the series because
it was very rare. It was only in like the middle part of the show.
Yeah.
They didn't have toys in the original toy line either.
Because my memories of Gaigar is mostly the first 25 since I have that on DVD. The later half is very fuzzy because I don't have that like physical.
They were in the back half before they went to space and stuff. So.
Yeah.
This will be 27,500 yen for these 3 guys. So yay! And now it's time for SH Figuarts with a pointless release. Not entirely pointless. I'm getting sick of these. I think this is the last one, but the Fever Form Geats Figuarts that should have just been leg pack. Like it should have just been a pack of legs.
No, because I'm getting really sick and tired. Like this too, essentially, I think Bandai really should just stick with really should do accessory kits more and more honestly, because I feel like these are so unnecessary.
These should have just been a set of legs and a set of the Fever parts, and all in one go.
For all of them, or all
like,
5. $90. Yeah, all 5, $90. Fine, I think that's fair.
But like having to rebuy everybody's upper torsos is ridiculous.
Yeah, because I also just about Figuarts how they do their because I actually don't mind DLC faceplates because look, I understand why. Because most people collect the main character first, then everybody else, so that makes sense to have DLC faceplates. But something like Gohan, like Severe Gohan, having his whole entire accessory load spread across multi-figures was ridiculous. All they really need to do is just do a Gohan accessory pack separate.
That's all they need. I don't mind it like with the One Piece figure where it's like everybody comes with a face for Luffy.
Yeah, DLC faceplates, I don't mind.
But if everybody came with a stretchable limb for Luffy, I'd have a problem.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when Kamen Rider where they're like they leave out the main rider's weapon and then it comes with a secondary rider. It's like, no, just include it in the first place. Like what It's annoying.
And if it is a character with a lot of stuff, just make an accessory pack. People will buy it.
On the plus side, this does come with the box that holds the buckles, and it comes with a boost buckle to put in it. You can put any buckle inside of it. It's the loot box, and then of course it's advertised as Geats using the monster legs. It's just like we didn't need this to be a whole separate figure. It should have just.
Honestly, the Geats figure art line in terms of releases is probably one of the worst.
It started as one of the best. They really had it planned out like well, and then they just screwed it up for the sake of greed. Because remember when they did the main Geats figure was Magnum Boost, and then they did a Boost Magnum? Why didn't they do that with all these others?
Don't forget the base body, the base form entry form Geats.
Yeah, entry form Geats, so that way you can like and they had like the head packs, but then with the female riders, all the heads came with one female rider body, so you couldn't just get bodies.
Yeah.
It fell apart quick. In other news, My Hero Academia's Todoroki is getting a Figuart. So
which is nice.
Too surprising,
nice
but
to see.
there's that.
So that's the main. So that's the main tree done. Now it's always the biggest question of what's next, because that's always the problem with every My Hero line.
Will we get girl?
Will we get girls or villains?
Yeah,
it's the big thing. Because it took into the most recent release with the Kyoto Rebel Texo to get the main villain of the series after like multiple releases. So it's like that's you done your main tree. Now please have some nice variety, please.
Speaking of women, though, there was a teaser on the Facebook page for Tamashi that says that the next Naruto release will be shown at New York Comic Con, and the image they used was the purple diamond from Tsunade's forehead.
Oh no! Wow, so nice to get all three saying it. Actually, that sounds really nice. Actually, not expecting not. I'm honestly more shocked because I was not expecting Tsunade to be the next Naruto release. I thought that'll be like Hinata, at least like such the female. I thought it'll be Hinata, but it's nice to see Tsunade. It's really great.
It's nice because that finishes a set at that point.
Yeah, especially. Did you get the Jiraiya or no?
I did. I did get the Jiraiya. I flip-flopped on it, and I was like, maybe I'll just get the anime heroes. And then he was on Premium Bandai. I was like, I like the Figuarts.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing about the Jiraiya and the Minato one. They're not just straight releases. They are, and and the Murano. They're not straight releases. The old Figuarts. They are retooled to match some 2.0 Naruto stuff. Speaking of, God, I never.
They're like 1.5s because I can definitely feel the old engineering hanging around Jiraiya, but he's still like nicer than the original for sure.
Speaking of, God, I have never seen the original Naruto 1.0 Naruto. Oh God, that looks hideous. Like what happened there?
You should see. Have you seen original Figuarts Luffy?
Oh yes, he's so tan. He's so yellow.
Original Figuarts Ace is cursed as hell though.
Also, like, the original Luffy has no torso articulation because they thought made his red coat like a shell. For some reason.
Old anime Figuarts are the stuff of nightmares.
Are rough. Like, it's so funny because they're, like, it was back in the day, it was writer, like, Tokusatsu was the main priority, anime second. Now it's the reverse.
Yeah.
Now.
Alright, you guys ready for some Transformers news?
Yes, Transformers.
Transform! That's a bio!
By the way, by the way,
amazing.
By the way,
yes.
Great to see TF1 get so much love over the weekend because fight on the UK.
Also, shout out to TF Hype Guy.
TF Hype Guy, he's the ultimate champion.
Doing Primus's work.
Yep.
Look how cool that is.
Oh, this is so cool. So yeah, I never thought I'd see Naruto X Transformers ever. That was there on my
never on my bingo card, but I'll take it. I absolutely love this. So, we had this one image leak like the day before, but we got like the rest of the images. So this is Kurama and Gamakichi done off of Kingdom Cheetor and a pre-tool of Spidor.
Spidor, yeah.
And then they have robot modes that look like Naruto.
This is so cool. I love this so much. This is like I'll never die because I never know we'll ever get anime cross Transformers stuff because I don't know, that feels like such two different markets, but here we are now.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Alice, if you want a complete chronological reading order for the Power Rangers Boom Studios comics, go join our Discord. There's a link in the description. And in guides and checklists, there is a link to my Power Rangers Boom Studios guide, and I have everything laid out in chronological order from every story and there's also a video and everything. The video is like the video guide is like the overview of like the major points, but the document will have like every single short story put in place. So there's two ways to look at it. The viewing guide or the reading guide on the channel is going to go over the main points, and then the document will have like the insane detail that makes me look like a madman. So
but still, I love he comes like chakra like feet effects, and he comes like both versions of Rasengans, like the Wind Shuriken one, the basic one. It's so cool.
It is. Falcon's Tech said, I sometimes forget I watched all the original Naruto run. I feel like I need to get this. I mean, like, this is great. Like, the thing is that sometimes when we do the retool collab figures, they're not as cool as, like, the new mold ones. But, like, this is solid. Like, this is really well done. And, yeah, it's... I mean,
the transforming Kurama. Like, that's...
Yeah, and I love that the kunai can store on the hips. Right? I love that you get the regular kunai, but also Minato's kunai.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's really
I love
neat.
the little Gamakiri. I love the Gamakiri.
Gamakichi's little scroll thing and his knife and the Rasen Shuriken and the foot things. It does mention having swappable hands, but I don't see them in the package. So I don't know how true that is, because it looks like the hands are like the fingers articulate on the hands.
Yeah.
Instead, because it says includes 2 kunai, 2 chakra plates, Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken, 2 swappable hands for Kurama, sword, and summoning scroll. But yet, there's no sign of the swappable hands in this video turnaround or in the package, so I think they changed it to articulating fingertips instead.
Which is good, because so you can get the jutsu hand looking stuff, which is so cool.
And
I love it.
$50, which is not horrible. Is it 50 or is it 55?
$50. It's a I think fan channel item, like most fan channel item. Is it fan channel or retail? Because the Party Wall was retail.
55. Party Wall was announced as fan channel, and I bought mine at Target. So
yes, and so he has to be. And he's on Walmart, so he has to be retail.
So he's retail, which is great. And we'll see if Gamakichi becomes Spitor in the future.
So what other shonen collabs could they?
Dragon Ball.
I want Primal Ozuru and Dragon Megatron. Yes. Dragon Megatron as Shinron.
Yes.
Give me that.
I'm down for both. I love that so much of the shonen stuff you can use Beast Wars molds for.
Yeah. I want Lyle Conflict to repaint to be gone from Bleach now.
Oh, Kaos, what do you think of this? Follow my thought process. Yusuke Urameshi, and he turns into a garbage truck.
Oh, jeez. that live action one, man. They did him dirty in that live action. That was more brutal than the manga or anime.
Yeah.
With that truck. Oh my goodness.
Seriously.
What's the make it transforming Pochita to Chainsaw Man. It's all shell former.
that could work.
Do you remember what happened with Pooh in Yu Hakusho? You could make
that could work.
Remember he turns into a big old phoenix?
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. I know Hellfire, I was talking to him, he said going marry a Luffy. It's like the One Piece ships turn into the character.
Oh, okay.
No, Transforming Chopper, and
he's an Animorph toy. He just goes from piece to piece. But I would love a Frankie that turns into the Thousand Sunny. That would just be hilarious.
Yes.
What would Ichigo turn into? A strawberry. No.
No, I just said Gon. Take the Loyal Convoy mold and turn to Gon from Bleach. It's a lion to a lion. Yeah, the lion mode that represent Gon. The robot mode looks like Ichigo.
Psycho was after Spitter supposed to be that small. I mean, he would be a core class if they made him.
Because it wasn't the original toy like a basic class, right?
The Transmetal one was the deluxe, but the original Spitter, which this would be the basis of, would be a core. Yeah. Smith Gross says, do you think there'll be an Animorphs in the Generations line? Nope. That requires a licensing deal. Also, no.
They need to make a legacy Rambi for Inosuke for Demon Slayer. Just the pig.
That would work. For the Blade Raider says, I want Great Ape Goku Great Ape to Goku, Capsule Bike to Bulma, Saiyan Pod to Vegeta, and Namekian Ship to Piccolo.
Saiyan Pod Vegeta, just a speed here.
Vegeta just rolls into a ball. Also, side note, I noticed this because I went to Big Bad here. Is Toonami really releasing their crappy Voltron again?
Really?
Oh my god, it's chromed now. Good lord, let this mold die. This mold is like 17 years old.
Hold.
And mine broke. I had the all plastic one from like 2009, and yours
broke. I don't think you ever told us that.
Yeah, the leg broke on it. And you know what it was doing when it broke? Standing. It crumpled under its own weight.
Yeah.
Good lord, how is this mold not gone by now? They've released this thing like 6 times. It's $300 now. So, anyways.
I want say a lizard mold they can use for Frieza.
There was a lizard in Beast Wars. I just can't remember his name. Or am I thinking Interrogator?
I was thinking I was thinking of Skull Cruncher for Frieza.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Mystery Machine would be rad. That Mystery Machine idea, actually, you could even...
We're still waiting for what, Fortress Tiberius, right?
Yes. The Enterprise turning into Fortress Maximus.
Don't make it, like, you don't have to make a Titan class, just make her a headmaster.
Yeah. 94 could remember Transformers Star Wars. Remember Transformers Marvel? Ugh.
Well, the bike Spider-Man. I actually like the Hulk. I actually like the Hulk figure of that line.
I've seen the Wolverine pop up at my comic shop a couple times, and I'm tempted just because it's Wolverine, and then I just...
Do it. Let's do it.
One of these days I might, like, because they cycle through every once in a while. Okay, next up, we know what the retro G1 figures at Walmart are. They are deluxe class Transformers on blister cards that are made to look like the G1 toys if your name's not Bumblebee and have a marketable head. Let's talk about Gears first. Okay.
It's so weird to see Transformers at blister cards again.
It's
after so long.
And like a lot of people said, they were in vehicle mode on their original blister cards. Why are they in robot mode now?
So I can see the character.
I'm sick of this robot mode trend. I love I love the variety of packing Transformers in vehicle mode during Velocitron. It really was nice because I think there's an element of like discovering what the robot's like when you transform it.
I actually like the gear. I do like the gears. I like the gears too. The faceplate looks cool. It makes
the Autobot cool. Logo being accurate and not on his crotch and the wrong shape is disappointing though.
Yeah, boo.
But no, this is a great way to get Gears if you didn't and you don't care about what his head design is. The Bumblebee is a good thing to get if you want the Volkswagen bug, but couldn't get the previous release. Like, this is going to be a really easy version to get. But it does sort of break the formatting because he doesn't have the faceplate head that he did on the original toy, so he doesn't match the original toy the way Gears does. But I also understand if they did this because they know how many people wanted this mold and they couldn't get it released another way.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, they're breaking just because...
I think Bumblebee's going to be the exception. I think anybody else in this line is going to look more spot on. Because Bumblebee also should have this weird decal and all that. But I think it's fine because that mold is hard to get. So
yeah, it is weird because I thought the whole purpose of 86 Bumblebee is to be that for people who miss out on this mold. But oh well, I guess.
I guess Walmart still owns this mold in some way. It's weird because we got Goldbug.
No. Goldbug broke that. I guess Walmart bought it back.
85 card backs for robot mode. Oh well. Then that's okay then.
I'm assuming
my complaint retracted.
I guess this only had to be mini bots because
we have listings for Sea Spray, so this is probably what Sea Spray is coming out as.
That has to be a new mold because they have not released a Sea Spray, right?
Right. I think it's going to be a new mold, and I think what we're going to get is we're going to get a Sea Spray in toy version maybe first, and then get the regular one later. Be like kind of like how Tiger Force got some GI Joes first before they had regular versions. Thought, but it's kind of neat.
So Sea Spray, Brawn, hopefully Beachcomber. I mean, that'll be nice when they get Beachcomber.
It'd be a good way to get the mini bots out again because some of them have been hard to get. So I hope it's not the Titans Return mold because that won't fly anymore. It's
too small. I mean, it's not
deluxe, and I don't think they adjust the price point like that. So Bumblebee's head isn't the same mold. What? Oh god, it isn't. It's different.
Is it smiling? Or is it still that miserable face?
Still that miserable face. It's just his head shape's different.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at Bumblebee there, just popping me.
Yeah.
Oh, like he looks like somebody stole his last.
It's my turn. It's my turn to Xbox now.
Okay. You guys ready for some Ghostbusters news that dropped this morning? I'm not going to go super in depth this morning. This is a leak of the upcoming Haslab that's getting announced this weekend. I don't want to go in depth on this because my dad and I were looking over the photos like insane people trying to guess how this is when in like 4 days we're going to know. But some images dropped of a 6-inch plasma series scaled Ecto-1 that seemingly comes with the Librarian Ghost and Slimer. Also Louis Tully in a uniform from Ghostbusters 2. There's this image that shows Ghostbusters 2 versions of the Ghostbusters we've never seen before. And it looks like it's got a light kit, which looks really cool. Librarian Ghost looks nice. There's another picture that shows the Ghostbusters 2 version, the Ecto-1A, with all the new attachments, which my dad and I were talking about. They'd have to have the entire side panels, front door, back door, bumper, entire roof, and front hood panels be removable in order to swap between. So we don't know if it's 2 items or 1 item that you can have part sets for. We also thought the Cantina had the deluxe option. Maybe the deluxe option here is the Ecto 1A parts. Also, there's all 4 Ghostbusters from Ghostbusters 2, which again we don't have. So are those going to be included? Or are they going to be a separate release? What is going on? We'll find out and talk about it next week.
One of these have to be, because imagine I'm looking at all this stuff and like some of these have to be tiers, because I don't think all of these can. I think
Lewis is tier. I think Lewis, Slimer, and the Ghost may be tiers, right?
Yeah.
I wonder though, because of how much is involved in making it the 1A, if it's because there's a seam line on the roof, like you could take the roof off, which would be great for putting the figures inside, because getting them through the door is going to be hard. That thing is cramped, right? Right, Gauss? The Ghostbusters Ecto one's not
they're not fitting through the door.
Yeah.
They're not fitting through that door.
So I think it's going to go like Lego style. We could just go, boom, pop the roof off of it. And then you could pop on the Ghostbusters 2 roof, and then you could change the outer panels. We'll see how the pricing works out, how it, is it a deluxe situation? Is it a, like what's going on? I could see it being like the Cantina, where it's like, do you want the Ghostbusters 2 stuff? That's going to be extra.
It's nice to find, because Mattel never did
that makes sense.
Scale X01 for their Matty Collector stuff, right?
I don't think they did. I think they were planning to, and then it got canceled.
Yeah. So this will be the first ever action figure scale.
Plus, it would justify why the Plasma series are so tiny.
Yeah, because this is going to be the first time where a full scale Ecto 1 is available. Because I think you can fit all the Ghostbusters. Because the problem with previous Ecto 1s, you can fit 2. I think the only Ecto 1 that can fit all 4 Ghostbusters nicely is the Playmobil Ecto 1. Because I don't think the Lego one, I don't think even the Lego one could fit all 4. And no, I think if it did, it was not like that. I think they're all like a conga line, straight line scenario for that set. I'm pretty sure. This is really cool.
I want to see more. I'm excited. If it's reasonable, I'll probably pick this up because I have all the Plasma series figures.
This will I think this will do well, because I think this has been something that fans want forever.
Also, I have a thought. I think the 4 Ghostbusters and the Ghostbusters 2 uniforms will be separate figures, like sold at the same time. They'll just be like,
probably, maybe. I think it's probably a 4-pack. I don't think they can sell them singularly.
I don't think they'll be singles, but I think they would definitely sell those as a 4-pack. I don't think they're going to be included with it, but I think Slimer, the Library Ghost, and Lewis will be. Also, where the hell is Janine?
Yeah, they said that it's Annie Potts, right? That's actress, right? Is her likeness right? Is that hard to get?
I don't know, because they won't even put Janine in the retro line, and that mold already exists.
It has a likeness right thing,
but it wouldn't affect the animated line.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it won't affect the animated rights.
So it's just they have not made a Janine at all in Hasbro Ghostbusters.
Just don't want to, maybe.
Maybe they don't, and they're dumb for it. Cause Janine's the best.
I know,
anyways.
Right?
More on this next week. We will talk about this next week because it's probably going to.
You want to play some Super Mario Brothers?
See, that's why we need Janine.
I remember that.
We'll talk about this, like I said, next week more, and then figure out if it's worth it or not, and all that fun. Well, we'll do our hoop jumping of toy buying next week. All right, entertainment news. This week was crazy. First of all, One Piece is going on a hiatus.
I think it's the first time anime ever been a hiatus.
It's the
anime.
First time the anime has. Oda is also taking a 2-week break.
I'm glad he does, because
because I remember the last time he did took a break is to work on Netflix One Piece, right? The last time he took a break.
He took a break with Netflix One Piece. He took another break after Toriyama died because he needed time to grieve.
I mean, yeah.
And he's taking a break now because he says, I need time to recharge a little bit and come up with new ideas.
Which I'm glad.
The weekly grind for Shonen Jump is
because Togashi's back is just an accordion now because
for Hunter Hunter.
Yeah.
Like, woof.
It is rough. So, the interesting part is that the Egghead... here's the interesting part, okay? The Egghead Island arc is the first time, I think, ever quote me if I'm wrong, ever where the manga, the anime, and the English dub were on the same arc all at the same time.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Craziness. Scrublord Gaming quoted a tweet I saw earlier as well. Oda's taken 179 breaks in 27 years out of 1,130 chapters. It's only 3 years and 5 months of rest in nearly 3 decades. I think it's like 25 years, but yeah. Crazy. Man's still a creative machine. But I'm glad he's taking a break.
All I know is if One Piece ever ends, if One Piece ever ends, he's going into Odin's sleep.
Yes, he's going to go in Oda's sleep.
Yep.
So this is going to be the first major hiatus for the anime because I think they're running. So that this is weird. The official announcement came out that the anime is going to take a break until next April for the Egghead Island arc, and they said to quote increase the quality of the arc. Now,
and to be fair, the animation for One Piece delay has been really nuts.
It's insane.
Like, really good.
It's why I actually want to watch the anime because I keep seeing clips of stuff from recent episodes, and I'm just like, holy crap, what is going on?
The Gear 5 Luffy stuff.
God,
really good, right?
It's so good. I keep watching Gear 5 Luffy versus Rob Luffy, and I'm like, this is technically a spoiler, but it's so good. So the thing is, they said increase the quality, and I'm looking at the animation right now, and I'm like, it's pretty good quality. So I wonder if increase the quality doesn't just mean let's take some more time to animate stuff, but also let's let Oda get a little further ahead so we don't have to stretch out the arc so much.
The current landscape of anime adaptation for manga don't really have filler anymore. They don't like how they make a big deal when it's something original nowadays.
In fact, let me go on Anime Filler Guide and show you guys something funny. Because you think for how long One Piece has been going, but
because something because that's the thing with something like My Hero or something like that where to the fact they take seasonal breaks instead of having a long running series and such. That means less filler. The only time they really have filler in My Hero is just have some nice breeder moments, pretty much like breeder episodes between big story arcs. That's the only time, and that's less filler because there's no source material.
So Anime Filler List has it that there's only 94 filler episodes of One Piece out of 1,122, meaning it has a filler percentage of 8%.
That's wild.
Right?
Especially compared to the other two, Bleach and Naruto, the other two big 2000 shows, where they have full filler arcs, full filler arcs.
There is most of them are manga canon. There's some filler arcs they did in the early days. They sometimes mix in new scenes, so it's a mixed manga canon.
Anime manga canon, which a lot of modern shows do.
And they'll do some. They've done a couple arcs that lead into movies. But for the most part, they don't really do heavy filler. They haven't done filler. God, this list is so long. They haven't had a filler episode. When was the last filler episode? Episode 1030, and that was to lead into Film Red, and that was in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So the crazy part is they're going to take a break till April. But in the meantime, they're going to be re-airing the Fishman Island saga as One Piece Log Fishman Island. That'll cut down Fishman Island from 51 episodes to 21, and they'll also redo some of the animation of that arc. Here's some side-by-side screen caps, where they're actually redoing some takes.
It's kind of like what they're doing with Fishman. It's kind of like a what if One Piece got adapted today, because that's the thing. Most and like My Hero was a big example where it's it's 20 episodes per season for each arc and such like that. So it kind of feels like that's what they're doing here with Fishman Island and such like that.
Because Fishman Island's interesting. I was looking it up. It's 51 manga chapters and 51 episodes. Which is just nutty.
A cat per episode?
Yeah. Which is nutty because, manga, the One Piece chapters are 16 pages apiece, which is not really enough for a 22-minute episode. So I imagine they do a lot of stretching. But
Bleach does that a lot. The Bleach anime does it a lot, apparently.
So it's nice to see they're let's take the break time, and we're going to go back and, recut this and give it some some splashier animation. They're basically giving it the Dragon Ball Kai treatment for this one arc, right?
I think that's one thing One Piece really needs is a Dragon Ball Kai for the older stuff. That's what they really need because because I didn't want to watch the One Piece anime, but it's a lot. No, the dog One Piece by Sea Clover is a readaptation, not a Kai.
Yeah, the Wit Studio is starting over from the beginning. It's a remake of the anime from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Completely new animation.
Even better to me than a Kai.
What's kind of wild is that right now One Piece has a manga, an anime, an English dub, a remake anime, a live action show, and now a recutting of arcs all happening at the same time.
If it shows how much bigger the brand's become.
Yes.
I think that shows you.
I think they would have done a Fishman Island compilation movie back in the day.
But they don't really do those anymore.
They don't do those anymore. So I'm kind of like, I'm interested in this, that they're doing this, and I'm wondering if they're going to see
Island,
how is this
Fishman
received,
Island's the first,
right?
Fishman Island's the first time skip arc, right?
And if you include all the compilation movies, the only arc you'd have to watch in full would be Marineford to Impel Down. Like that arc never got a movie because they did a Water 7 movie. But they didn't do a Marineford Impel Down one, and they're now doing this recut. I wonder if this is an experiment. If they're like,
I kind of wish they did more of these because those compilation movies are not really great.
No, they are. I watched the Alabasta one, and I was like, oh, this is some Cliff Notes.
Yeah, no. So I kind of wish.
I wonder. And here's a random thought. Okay, what if they're trying this out, and in the future, we're gonna get like more breaks if this is successful, right? If people like respond well to this, Blade Raider the readaptation is going to be the Wit Studio remake. It won't be the centerpiece because this will still keep going, but that's going to be that. What's interesting is that I wonder if they're going to experiment with like taking breaks in arcs and then just re-editing other arcs as gaps. Like, what if this is just like, let's try this? Because, and that maybe also takes a little bit pressure off of Oda from having to keep up with the manga because the anime is like so close to the manga lately that they're having to stay so close that this should give a nice breather gap for the manga. And I think that it'll also give a nice breather gap for Oda, especially because he's still doing stuff involving the live action. I believe he's also involved with the Wit Studio stuff. I am very curious about this. It's like I found this to be the most mind-blowing news because this anime has been running straight for 25 years.
Hey, at least you're doing something like Naruto. Do you ever heard about you heard about the whole thing with the Naruto thing?
What happened to those extra Naruto episodes?
Yeah, no, because for people who don't know, Suyu Parrot, who's Naruto's main animator, back was it 2022 or 2023? I forget. I think it was 2022.
The 20th anniversary was 2023. Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, they said they were going to do. They said they're going to say brand new 4 new episodes, brand new stories.
Yep.
We don't know if it was like part 1, part 2, whatever. And then I think later that year they said it got delayed, indefinitely, pretty much, with no confirmation of it. And we still haven't heard any updates to that. No, I think that's the reason why they probably those are delayed because they're working hard on Bleach 1000 Year Blood War right now. I imagine is what's happening, and so they had to delay that heavily. Because they're putting a lot of their man horse in 2000 Year Blood War, but still, it's just funny. We have got nothing from Naruto said, but this is kind of funny seeing Bleach, Naruto, One Piece getting these kind of because Bleach had their 20-minute animated 20-year anniversary for the anime, and they reanimated. So it's like how the Naruto one got that big.
The Road to Naruto short.
Yeah. So Bleach got one for 20th anniversary. So this is kind of funny. See all 3 of the 2000s big 3 to get these big reanimated projects. My One Piece is the biggest one because it's a whole arc being reanimated.
Yeah. It's not being fully reanimated from what they said,
but touch up, I guess.
It's getting touched up, and recut.
Yeah,
which
recut. So
there also is a special airing this weekend called One Piece fan.
The fan.
Yeah, it's about a character who is a fan of Nami, and it's set during the Fishman Island arc, I think. So, also there's a One Piece smartphone app coming out in Japan called One Piece Base as a manga viewer and content from the franchise, and it's apparently launching in Japan, and it'll be released outside Japan next year. So that's kind of wild. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is very interesting. It's interesting to see this happen because
I think a lot of this stuff is definitely to help more people catch up on the anime, especially with because Netflix One Piece was so big that they clearly want to take advantage of the new fandom.
And the dub's gonna catch up real quick too.
Yeah,
because it's almost there, right, anyways. And I also wonder if this is also going to give Netflix some time to get, because Netflix has up through Marineford, and then I think they have Fishman Island, and then they just jumps to Egghead. They don't have anything else in between yet.
No Wano,
no Punk Hazard, no Dressrosa, like all that, all the time skip stuff after Fishman is not on Netflix. So I think they're trying to sync all this stuff up, which is smart. Also, maybe Crunchyroll could get a little bit caught up on the Blu-rays and not be like 300 episodes behind. Very interesting, though. You guys ready to talk about the other entertainment news? All right. So, Heritage Auctions is doing a giant Power Rangers auction, and
oh boy,
I wanted to talk about the idea of a franchise holding a big auction. And let me make sure I'm not sitting on a soapbox. I'm not on a high horse. I'm just going to talk about this from a perspective of somebody that's gone through this before. So, TV and film production is an expensive venture, right, guys?
Really, especially nowadays. Especially nowadays.
And especially when you have to fabricate costumes and props that you can't just pick up at a prop house, right?
No, essentially like Power Rangers and Star Trek are heavy special effects series.
So here's the thing: when it comes to a franchise, you have accumulation over time, where props and costumes get stored up in warehouses, and it gets built up over time. And at some point, you have to look at all of it and go, here's how much money I'm spending as a business to store it. Am I going to use this for my future productions? Or can I auction this off and make some money for the company? Now, this has happened. This is not the first time Power Rangers has had an auction. This is actually the third auction. There's been several during Saban time and Disney time. This is actually the third time there's been a big Power Rangers auction. The reason it's significant is because Power Rangers doesn't have any current live action productions.
Isn't it also because there's so much stuff in this auction? Because compared to the other times they have auctions,
there's a lot more here because as of right now there is no Power Rangers live action production in the works, and by the time there will be, because there probably will be at some point, it's a lucrative enough property.
It will come back.
The thing is, if you look, we're going to look through this catalog together and talk about like what's included, because a lot of this stuff is stuff they're never going to need again. And I think that for a lot of fans, they're looking at this as like Hasbro getting rid of the brand, but it's not really that so much as Hasbro is not going to continue paying for these things that they could get money for. You know,
what's Hasbro could use them for? Like with realistic.
We're gonna go through it. We'll go through it and like talk about some of the stuff here. They spent $500 million on Power Rangers, and they have not made $500 million with Power Rangers. They're going to make some millions off this auction, and that's going to help the business side of things. And we have to talk about the business side of things because it's business.
I mean, okay, so I want to, because Cosmic Reject talk about they wish to give.
I will talk about Toei in a minute. I will talk about Toei in a minute. That's a separate. I have like some bullet points in my head here. We were not going to talk about Toei at the moment, but I will tell people this story because this reminds me of 2004. Paramount sold off almost everything they had for Star Trek props and costumes at auction in 2004 after Star Trek Enterprise was canceled because they said, we're done doing the TV pipeline thing. We're going to work on a movie next. We don't need any of this stuff. We're just going to be paying to store this for no reason, right? So what they did is they auctioned off a bunch of stuff, okay? And by the way, keep chat civil, guys. We're going through this. This is tricky.
If you all start fighting, we're going to put a lot of you in timeout. You start fighting.
We have a timeout button. Please don't start fighting. I know this is a sore subject for the fandom, but Star Trek fandom went through this, and the thing was that the It's a Wrap auction for 2004 for Star Trek, The biggest benefit to fans it gave was there was now high-quality photo galleries of a bunch of props and costumes that we did not have good photos of before. And the Star Trek fandom archived it all, which I have reached out to the Power Rangers fandom, and people have been saving the images from this auction.
That's the thing about these auctions. No matter Power Rangers or whatever, it's better that they're selling these off to potential fans than incinerating half of these suits. Like,
yes, because that is the other option. If you don't want to pay for warehouses, you gotta throw it in a dumpster because warehouse space is expensive, right? Mm-hmm. Hasbro's also not a production company the way they were like a year ago.
Yeah, no, the whole like E1's all-star features, that all kind of fumbled badly.
So the question is that where are all these being stored right now is probably in a warehouse now owned by E1, which they sold off, right? So it's got to get moved. It is also incredibly common for auctions like this to happen. Somebody already mentioned in the chat, the MCU Netflix shows. They auctioned off all their props and costumes. And yet Daredevil showed up in the MCU. What did they do? Make him a new costume, right? They look just like the old one, but that's just what they do. Star Trek. When Star Trek Discovery did a time skip, they sold off all the old uniforms. They kept some for the main cast, but they sold off all the background actor uniforms and a bunch of props because they're like, we're not in that time period anymore. We're not using those anymore. And people saw that as a sign that Discovery was being canceled. No, it still ran for 2 more seasons. They just didn't need that stuff anymore. Same with Star Trek Picard. They auctioned off a bunch of that stuff too. They will not auction off everything. There will be stuff that they keep for historical value or for displays in offices and things like that. But
like, for example, you'll never see, like, I don't know, like, the live-action Luffy hat, straw hat ever on sale, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you might see duplicates of Luffy's costume, because typically when you do a production, you make 2 or 3 of every costume in case something happens to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Very custom. Hellfire brought up a CWDC show, Stargirl. They infamously burned the costumes when the show was done, instead of auctioning them, so they could be preserved. This is standard practice. In the same Heritage auction that this Power Rangers one is in, there's a Game of Thrones auction. But yet Game of Thrones is currently on its 2nd season of its spinoff, and it has another spinoff coming out. Okay, that franchise isn't dead, but they're auctioning off stuff. The thing with the other thing I've seen people brought up is the Indiana Jones line. If it belongs in a museum, yes, it will. All this stuff could belong in a museum, yes. So the question is, what museum? Who's paying for it? Who's paying for upkeep? Who's curating it? And what stuff do you actually put in the museum? Because some of this stuff just is not museum worthy.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, guys, but Power Rangers and Tokusatsu in general, besides like some, are not really museum worthy. Like, not every company super. I mean, going to the Toei thing, Toei is not the best keeping their stuff handled.
I want to talk about Toei as a separate topic, but I just want to get too far off track. Another thing I'm going to say, there is no Star Trek museum, there is no Star Wars museum. There is not going to be a Power Rangers museum, right?
Especially Power Rangers. And
Especially
it's not Power. Like, yeah.
It's just the reality of it. The other thing is that let's talk about the Toei part, because a lot of people...
Kyle, this isn't an MMPR thing. It's a kids' TV show. It is not. Only props will be kept. Is Mighty Morph? No, none of that. It is a kids' TV show. That is pretty much the lesser media form for Hollywood, pretty much.
And if other genre stuff that's much bigger, what about Lucas Ranch and that collector stuff? Muteki, the thing is, Skywalker Ranch has a bunch of the Star Wars props archived, but that is George Lucas's estate.
Yeah.
He's spending the money to keep all that stuff. He owns the land. But it's not a public museum either. It's a storage facility that's on his thing. Museums are tricky to run. It has to be stuff that people want to come look at. Power Rangers, one or two things could end up in a museum, but not the entire catalog, right?
I know the National Video Game Museum have a hard time getting stuff in because there's a lot of approvals to get into what can be reserved and stuff like that. Because guess what? There's a thing called legality also about having things in. They cannot just have a Power Ranger museum, for example, without totally knocking on the doors. Get like cease and desist because they don't have the legal rights to have those suits on display in a public space and such like that.
So adding to this, the Toei situation, people have been like, "What? Because the thing is, like, you can't buy these items if you live in Japan or Asia because it's not where the Power Rangers license exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, what if Toei wants some of this stuff? I guarantee you, without knowing anything about the deals made between Toei and Power Rangers, but just from my experience in film and knowing film history, if Power Rangers ended up with anything of Toei's, it was because Toei didn't want it anymore.
Didn't I remember this Simon Bennett said they had to recreate a lot of suits also?
Yes. Simon Bennett said they had to recreate a lot of suits. We also have exact reports that Simon Bennett said the reason Void Knight wasn't transformed in Cosmic Fury is because Toei requested the guy's soul suit to be sent back to them.
If Toei wanted the suit back, they will ask immediately once the production stops.
Same thing with the Death Ryuger helmet. They weren't allowed to turn it to Death Ryuger colors because Toei wanted it stayed as Kyoryu Navy colors. And they wanted it back. Stuff that you don't see here probably went back to Toei. The thing is, the people who are going to buy these props and costumes are going to be people that have a lot of money. And here's another point of reality. If you want to bid on stuff, be prepared for any item you want. Baseline's going to cost you $1,000.
$1,000, dude. Like, because no matter what, these were used in television production.
Yes,
that's not going to be cheap. Even if it is a kid show, that's still television.
There's reality TV
money.
shows about people who buy and auction props. These are going to go into people who will buy it and then auction it off later themselves.
It literally could be something simple like a stained T-shirt of a reality star.
Yep.
Like it will cost like thousands of dollars because it was worn by someone that was on television.
And that's where a lot of this stuff will end up. Blade Raider said opening bid is $500 and everything. Yep, that's your baseline. It's going to be $500. If stuff doesn't sell, there's a chance it could get destroyed, but let's not worry about that. Because the last thing I want to address before we look at the catalog itself is
Toei.
No, we talked about Toei. If Toei wanted anything,
well, also this thing with Toei, also like if Toei bought Toei bought all these, they're gonna rot in their storage.
Toei's got enough storage stuff from remaking every costume for Gokaiger.
And also, like, have you seen some Toei suits? They are rotting away.
Have you guys seen Blade?
His piss helmet.
Exactly.
Have you seen? I don't remember they redid the Double suit, but I remember when Double reappeared. And I think when the X-Aid,
his crotch exploded.
His crotch is ruined.
There's a reason Double is anime now.
Never forget the gills. Never forget the gill suit, guys.
Exactly. So there's like this famous behind the scenes reel that Jeff Pruitt, who was one of the stunt people on Power Rangers, went to visit Toei, and he had this video, and it's just costumes laid on top of each other, just sitting in a warehouse.
Hell, isn't like here 90% of the Lupat Rangers monsters are all like kickback of previous monster parts.
Toei doesn't keep the stuff. They keep it for production use. They don't keep it in a museum setting. They have a museum where they put their best looking stuff up. But that's for their stuff. Again, anything they would have wanted, they would have gotten back already.
Yeah, same with Super Raya. Now, Super Raya keeps a lot of stuff more intact.
Yes. I've heard that Super Raya has like an air-conditioned, climate-controlled like warehouse for their suits.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But I think that's where it shows that, like, I think it shows the two kind of companies' mindsets. Super Raya wants to honor their legacy. And like how, like, even when a suit's like damaged, they'll still put it up in display because it represents the legacy. I remember I think it was last year or one of the Ultra Expos. They have the actual suits worn of the original shows, and they're all tattered and beat up, but they still want to put it on display.
Yeah.
And such like, I mean, they still haven't you look at any of the Gridman, like when they showcased original Hyper Agent Gridman with SSS Gridman, they didn't clean that suit up. It still has all that dirt and grime on it.
Yep. Okay, so the last part of this conversation I want to have is the hardest one to have. So let me just cook and dig my own grave if I accidentally do that.
Do that.
Actors. It would have been nice for actors to have been able to keep props and costumes from when they left the production if they're never going to be used again and just end up at auction eventually. It would have been nice.
That's happen half the time.
Let me cook. It also would have been nice if Hasbro's like, we're getting rid of these costumes. Would you like to purchase one of these from us? I don't mean this as any insult to anybody, because not everybody understands how the industry works, but there's never a situation where a studio is going to give actors props and costumes for free.
It's a very rare occasion.
Very rare. And it's usually because an actor slipped the jacket off set or put a comm badge in their pocket. There was a specific thing recently that for Star Trek Picard Season 3, everybody got specially tailored jackets, and every cast member kept their jacket and went home with them, and every cast member got visited by a CBS lawyer.
Oh, wow, really?
Props and costumes for movie and TV production are paid for by the production and belong to the production. Nobody outside of the production is entitled to costumes or props from the production. It doesn't matter if they wore them and all that. Their job was to act, right? The production does not see that stuff as theirs. Personally speaking, I think that actors should get an opportunity to purchase costumes and props that they wore for their own personal collections and their own memorabilia and stuff like that. I think that is something great. Unfortunately, the reality of the industry is that is not what happens. The production takes it, and then the production auctions it off so the production can have money.
I forget, did Andrew Garfield keep his Spider-Man suit, or was that newly made for No Way Home?
That was newly made for No Way Home because they went and dug out. They kept one of his suits. Typically with Spider-Man, they kept one suit. They kept Toby and they kept Andrew's suits in the Sony warehouse, and they dug them out, and then they were like, "Oh, they completely hardened up because of all the rubber stuff." So they had to remake them anyways.
I forget it was either Star Trek or Doctor Who. I don't remember if David Tennant. I think David Tennant kept one of the Doctor actors kept one of the props. I don't remember that they just gave it to them or they took it. I don't remember if it was either the outfit or a screwdriver. One of the two were one of the Doctor
Typically
actors.
With Doctor Who, when the Doctor leaves, they give the Doctor one of their sonic screwdrivers.
Yeah.
And that is the production gifting it to an actor. That's also an actor that's been on a show for 4 or 5 years at that point.
And also, that's a small prop.
Small prop. There's been other instances of people getting stuff. Star Trek, someone shared the Blade Raider shared the Patrick Stewart story how he wanted to buy his costume at the end of the production. They said no. Brendan Mayhew has a bunch of props that he was able to slip out. There's a story of the last day of Voyager. Robert Picardo, they were tearing apart the sets, and they just told the actors, you want anything from the sets, when we wrap filming, just start tearing it off the walls, because they were destroying the sets. They weren't going to keep anything. And Robert Picardo apparently ended up with everything from somebody one corner of the bridge, and was selling it to the other actors or something. I think it was Garrett Wong talking about it. He's I wanted my console, but Robert Picardo already snatched it. Sometimes things happen into production after a 7-year show, and they just don't care anymore.
And this is not, again, as we said, not a dig at the actors, but sadly more the state,
it's the industry.
Hollywood, how the industry treats actors is more the thing.
The industry does not treat actors with any sort of reverence beyond, did you make us money? And did you do your job? And then once your job is done, they don't care about you. That's the shitty part about it. It's just the reality.
And essentially it's worse for television actors, especially.
Yes. And especially for television actors in kid shows.
Definitely.
There's a lot of tiers to Hollywood, and kid show actors are in the lowest tier. And that's sad. I think Tommy Talk says, I think the timing it puts in a sour taste just because Power Rangers Limbo. That's how Star Trek fans felt in 2004. We felt the franchise was never coming back because they were getting rid of everything. And guess what? 5 years later, a movie. 13 years after that, a new TV show. Yeah.
Again, I feel like this whole thing about the fandom with Power Rangers, with this whole option thing, has been miserable because they just because again, this isn't the whole Hasbro Power Rangers era is not just Hasbro hates Power Rangers at all. It is just a simple fact that kids' productions for television toy stuff nowadays is a very hard sell nowadays in the current market of Fortnite and other gaming stuff and freedom apps and all that stuff. It is a tough market to sell. And essentially, essentially action shows is, there's a reason why a lot of what was going to be Cartoon Network shows are now moving just to be on Toonami. My Adventures Superman and other cartoons releasing around the time are moving to Toonami because sadly, kid action shows aren't as big. as they used to be in the 2000s. It used in things. That's the simple fact. It isn't just Hasbro's got sabotaged Power Rangers because they hate him. No, it's not
they
that.
got Power Rangers at the worst timing to be picking up a kids' action brand.
Mm-hmm.
It was not something they could avoid. It just was what happened. The industry shifted almost immediately after they got Power Rangers. And the thing is that Hasbro, you can't say Hasbro hates Power Rangers, because if you're looking at the business side of it, they spent the money, they got Power Rangers. Personally speaking, I think they overpaid. I don't know what this $500 million price tag came from, but I think it was because Brian Goldner was friends with Haim Saban. I think he was like, I'll give Haim some extra money because he's my friend. That's how Hollywood works, guys. Friendships and connections like that. The thing is,
Fire Fairy makes a good point. Look at Transformers shows.
Exactly. You can't get a Transformers show to last.
Transformers, Earthspark, and Earthspark have the same treatment as Power Rangers.
Yep.
Because yes, they do. They are treated poorly because they're the kids thing.
And so
nothing against Power Rangers.
Hasbro with Power Rangers, they tried keeping the Sentai adaptation formula going, but it wasn't making them money. Which is supposed to. The whole idea about adapting Sentai is it's the same money. It's a cheap production. We only have to film half a show, and then we can make all the money on the toys. And for a lot of reasons, mainly being kids shifting to video games more than TV shows and toys, that didn't work. They didn't make money, and that's why they ended up ending the show after Cosmic Fury, because they were not making money. That is why, if Power Rangers was making money, it doesn't matter what petty thing is going on. If it's making money, they will keep it. If it's not making money, they will put it on ice. That is how corporations work.
If you ever wonder why so many toy companies are focusing more on collector market, because that's where a lot of the money is nowadays.
Yeah, that's where the money's actually growing versus kids market.
The funny thing is they'll still say the collectors are for kids, and why are adults buying these?
It's illegal. I imagine a legality thing why they had to do that.
It's kind of one of those two things can be true things, right? Like you can make collector toys that kids can also pick up, right?
I think it's
more. But you can tell when you look at it what's aimed at a collector and what's aimed at a kid.
I think they mostly say that so they can sell them at brick and mortar stores.
Yeah,
is the big thing I think, because so they could sell it to Walmart.
If you make a 15+ figure, it's not going to be on the main toy aisle.
It's going to be in the collector's aisle.
Yep. So the thing is, and here's also a reality too that I don't know. Maybe too much reality at the moment. The toy industry is not in a good state right now.
Nope.
And it is going to
especially for a brand like Power Rangers.
I think a lot of brands. I'm going to be honest. I don't think we're in a good spot.
Transformers is like, in a sense, doing good while also cannibalizing itself.
Transformers has this problem of they're making toys that people want, but they're not making enough. By the way, hi Wheels. Yes. Transformers is making a bunch of toys people want, but in quantities that are too low to meet demand, which is causing it to have issues. In addition to the Transformers brand as a whole has been oversaturated. And it's like, even when high-quality stuff comes out, like Transformers 1, it can't break out of the fact that Transformers as a brand has been oversaturated. And so I think that Power Rangers taking a break is the best thing it can do, because it needs time to get out of people's heads. The thing that we don't really talk about enough when we talk about Hasbro's ownership of Power Rangers is they bought it after the disaster that was the 2017 movie and after the toy sale disaster that was Ninja Steel.
And the movie.
Keep hyping up that movie, and they need to realize that killed our brand.
That's it. You can like the movie all you want. It's sadly objectively a failure. From a business
perspective, the 2017 movie was the biggest failure Power Rangers ever had. Because it essentially killed the brand, because Transformers 1 has made more money than Power Rangers 2017 did.
Mm-hmm.
And its marketing sucked ass.
Its marketing was terrible. Transformers 1 also cost less money to make than Power Rangers.
Because it's animated.
Yes. Power Rangers 2017 was a massive bomb. It did not even break even. And what ended up happening is that Bandai didn't have the money to do 2 toy lines, so the Ninja Steel toy line suffered. And the Ninja Steel toy line...
Both movie line and Ninja got cannibalized. They both cannibalized.
They got cannibalized because it was the budget for one toy line was split in half. So it made both toy lines worse. And then because of that, you had the two toy lines perform so poorly that even a year and a half later, those toys were hanging around while Toys R Us was dying, and those toys were 80% off.
I think Bandai America knew kind of saw the wall writing, and I think that's why they put a lot of money in Dragon Stars.
I think so.
Why did Golden Frieza was golden? Why did Golden Frieza was fully golden metallic?
Yeah.
Supposedly, okay. So funny story about that. The story I've been told by people that worked at Bandai is that sometimes with how the deal worked with Saban, he had like some kind of deal of how much money he wanted to spend on licensing the brand and the product, and decisions like that can end up being him. Be like, what costs?
No, definitely. Yeah,
I 100% believe it. Saban will always give you a bad deal, but he will stab you in the front. He'll never stab you in the back. He will always stab you in the front. That's a quote from an X-Men producer. He will always. He will never stab you in the back. He will stab you from the front.
Here's a story about the original Legacy figures. The original Legacy figures, he tried to cheap out, and they came out looking like so dog shit.
Wasn't the reason? That was the reason why they couldn't take photography, right, at Toy Fair when they first debuted.
It's the reason why I had to go and help some people make sure people got cease and desist and shit. I was asked by my buddies at Bandai, like, hey, whoever posts these, if you see them, fine, but if you can report it in for us, these aren't supposed to be out there. Like, the only one they were allowed to show, supposedly, were Ninja Storm at best. You weren't allowed to see the Dragon Ranger / Tyranno Ranger, MMPR red and green figures, because they were so bad. Because from what I've been told, they tried to add, you remember, like, when Bat in the Sun added that little bit of texture to their Dragon Ranger suit.
Oh, they were gonna do McFarlane. They were McFarlane. They were gonna do a McFarlane.
Yeah, they were trying to actually add like that fabric, like texturing that Bat in the Sun did for like the matte Green Ranger that they said is not. That was illegal. The ones that Bat in the Sun say that was stolen from them by Boom and
yeah, no, it really wasn't when you look at the designs themselves.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Yeah, they were gonna do that texture, and it came out looking like what if someone just put sandpaper and painted it?
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like, have you ever seen what sandpaper looks like? It looks just like sandpaper, just paint.
Yeah,
like the prototype looked like. It didn't look like the texture.
I've seen some prototypes like that. Yeah,
I will say, in related to this discussion, Power Rangers also had a huge hit when what is it? Toys R Us died. When Toys R Us died, Power Rangers lost its strongest soldier.
Because Toys R Us gave Bandai a lot of money. That's why I think a lot of the legacy stuff was Toys R Us exclusive, because they paid for those products.
They would also pick up things that nobody else wanted, like the Delta Command Megazord. That didn't show up at other retailers, not because Bandai made, like, not just because Toys R Us wanted it, because Toys R Us was the only ones that would take it. They were the only ones that would take the big things.
Disney. I think a lot of the Jungle Fury line RPM was Disney Store exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing people forget too. The reason why the Delta Command Zord was because Super Train Megazord supposedly didn't do well. This is the funny thing. My area, it sold like hotcakes.
Yeah, it just depends regionally.
But
getting to that point is that Toys R Us really supported Power Rangers when it needed the help. And then with it gone, with Hasbro now having to kind of, I mean, honestly, they had to flail from, we took over the Master Toy license. Okay, how do we make Power Rangers?
Now we own the show.
To now we own the show, which was like just a couple months later, which was insane. As we could tell, when Wheels and I talked to the Hasbro people at Morphicon 2018, we were asking questions, and they were like, "We don't know yet because we've owned this brand for a month. We have no idea yet what we're doing."
I'll give you a better one too. On top of that, I was telling Jerry some of the stuff that they told us that I think they even mentioned in the Power Morphicon panel, because they even joked about it, even though I think they were trying to hint that, we're screwed. Because one of them said, hey, so originally the contract, how it was worded to them, was that Bandai was still going to do yearly toys, the kids' toys, for like the next couple of years. They were like, supposedly when they first were told about the deal, it was that, hey, they were assuming that at least Beast Morphers and the whatever followed Beast Morphers and its duology, like Super Beast Morphers, and then
the main show.
After that. Yeah, pretty much the main show for like the next quotation 3 seasons, which would have been Beast Morphers
2 seasons,
Beast Morphers season 2. Yeah, it would have been like, the idea was they were going to say whatever was the successor, and so they were told that like at least 2 teams, were going to be.
It's like how
under
Playmates
Bandai.
makes the current Turtle media, where NECA makes the collector stuff.
Yeah, so it was supposedly like they were going to have it, and then Hasbro was going to take full control of the kids brand
after
as well.
Beast Morphers.
At least after Beast Morphers of the show that had preceded.
Because Beast Morphers was still all the pre-production of Beast Morphers was done by Saban's people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So supposedly at least the first season or like after Beast Morphers that might have even carried on.
Mm-hmm.
And so their plan was to only get the Lightning collection out because they're like, okay, we're going to take over because people don't like the Legacy line figures. We want to do that immediately. We want to get those figures out. Like that's what their plan was they saw that, plus I'm assuming, having heard other conversations, that they thought because Power Rangers are just the same body molds, they're like, we can Stormtrooper the F out of this,
yeah.
which is why we don't have that many villains. And so when they were told, yo, you're making the kids toy line too.
Yeah, we bought the whole brand. Because when the contract came out and we got the details of it, it was, because it was at Toy Fair, they announced, oh, we're taking over the toy license. And it was like, and there's an option for Hasbro to own the franchise later. Later was like 2 months later. It was ridiculously fast.
It must have been rushed into production really fast.
Because the thing was, Beast Morphers, everything about Beast Morphers was still a Saban season. Hasbro didn't do anything to that season because it was already in the works as a Saban production. It just Hasbro put their name on it because they suddenly bought the brand. I think, who was it? AR said, I wonder if it would have been better if Hasbro waited a couple years to take over the full brand. I think it would have worked out better, because then they could have been like, okay, are these toys working for us? Should we own this whole brand? Right?
I think the problem was Saban.
I think Saban pressured Goldner to buy the rest. Right?
Yeah. Saban was like, money!
Because Goldner saw the potential. I think Saban was like, hey man, you take it. Come on, take it.
He's like, shove. He's like, shove.
Yep.
Like, take it. Take it.
Oh, you're my good friend. Buy my franchise.
It's like, I don't want to do, like, that's the problem, is he didn't want to do any work anymore. And because of that, that's why we got in this. If Saban would have just stayed too and had it that, like, oh, collector's line, Hasbro, kids line, Bandai, we probably would not have been.
It would have honestly been better.
Yeah. I think it would have, because I think Hasbro got saddled with, you have to make an entire Power Rangers toy line. It has to be out by next year because the show's already in production.
And then he also said, by the way, MMPR is the only thing that sells by.
That's also, okay, look, I'm going to be honest, as much as we, like, rag on it, if you look at market research data, MMPR
it's
true. The most.
It's true. I'm sorry.
It's the reality. It's just like G1 with Transformers. That's the one that's going to sell the most.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's I know people hate it, but that's the truth.
It is the truth. But it's like, you could, like, the one
at least with Hasbro. Like, if you think about that first wave, it was 2 Mighty Morphin figures and then 2 non-Mighty Morphin. Like, they tried. They really tried to do non-Mighty Morphin stuff.
I think, though, like, one of the things that whoever, like, if Playmates fucks this up, they fuck this up, right? But I think if any company ever gets Power Rangers again, when you make Mighty Morphin, you need to sneak in a lot of the other fan favorites. Just
the problem we have is that Hasbro will not license anything but Mighty Morphin. Remember when we talked to Kyle Wodaga and he's like, I'd like to do other stuff from, like, SPD, but we only have a Mighty Morphin license.
And that's and that's just Hasbro playing it safe. It's not a vendetta. I
think what it is that if, say for example, the Mighty Morphin line for Playmates does well, and Hasbro goes to renew the contract, they'll be like, and now have the other 29 seasons, like, that's kind of how these things usually work. Like, you'll see G1, like Super 7's reaction line, right? Love them or hate them. They did G1, and then they got to do Beast Wars. Like, they sold well enough, so they got to do more of the property.
I mean, it's like how the big Dragon Ball, the big thing is Z. And we're now just slugging stuff from GT and Dragon Ball and stuff like that.
MJ Klein said, I say Disney should have kept it. Here's the thing with Disney.
They didn't want it.
They didn't want it. What they wanted, Michael Eisner purchased the Fox Family Network from Haim Saban because he wanted the TV channels and he wanted the programming library so they'd have reruns available for things like Toon Disney and for ABC Family and all these other things, right? In that, because if you notice, the only show that was purchased by Disney as part of the Fox Family purchase that actually continued was Power Rangers. And the reason why is because the producers on Power Rangers told Disney, look how cheap it is if we move to New Zealand.
Why did Digimon continue?
Digimon continued, but that's also a dub. That's not a new show.
Oh yeah, I guess that's
and also Digimon technically didn't continue because Frontier was already in production, and then Data Squad was years later.
Oh, it's a Wild Force scenario,
Yeah.
a Wild Force scenario, right?
Right. So the thing was is that Disney Disney was like, oh, is it really that much cheaper? They produced Ninja Storm. We're like, we made how much on toys? We spent how little making the show, and so they kept it going. But then after a certain point, and around that point was when Bob Iger came in 2005 was when Bob Iger became CEO of Disney. Bob Iger purchased Pixar, and he was about to purchase Marvel, which is a much bigger superhero brand than Power Rangers, which is why around the time Disney bought Marvel was around the time Disney stopped really wanting to do Power Rangers.
Remember, people, the reason why they bought Marvel the first because that's gonna be their boy brand.
Yes,
you know, we have
because Iger saw the company as having a lot of girl appeal with the princesses and everything, but not much boy appeal, and that's why he bought Marvel.
They tried to do a boy appeal Disney stuff. Like I forget what the line was called, but it was like all the Disney princess and heroes, and that didn't do well at all.
No, it didn't. And they tried to do things like American Dragon Jake Long and some of the other cartoons, but they just didn't land, right? And so they had Power Rangers as their boys thing, but they could upgrade to Marvel. Why keep putting money into Power Rangers? Especially because Power Rangers was having declining ratings through the 2000s.
And also they don't fully own it because there's still a lot of that Toei still gets a lot of stuff still.
And so that's why when Saban was like, hey, can I buy Power Rangers? They're like, sure, we don't need it anymore.
Take it. We don't want it anymore.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we're at. The thing is that Power Rangers in its current stage has to stay with Hasbro because nobody wants it. And
I think also that
it's because it is not making money. It needs to have a revitalized boost back into it, and that's going to take. We need some more years to get the stink of the 2017 movie off of it.
I think also a lot of thing about Power Rangers is what it is. Power Rangers as Sentai is a very hard brand to do in the modern toyscape. What do we get nowadays with toy stuff? Action figures.
Yep.
Power Rangers is more than just action figures. There's vehicles, there's mecha, there's robots, monsters, all that stuff. Hard to do when you only have a little bit of amount of money to do per year. As such.
And
you look at
especially when Power Rangers is one cog of a multi-part machine like Hasbro.
Yeah, and hearing it was easier when it was just the season of the year.
Yep.
But since they started doing legacy stuff, it started to become harder because you had to now balance mainline budget of action figures, Zords, vehicles, and such, gimmicks, morphers, all that stuff, roleplay, all that stuff. Then you have your collector line, which also has figures, Zords, weapons, all that stuff. It's hard to balance the modern toyscape today. Really hard because
especially with Zords, because making robot toys is insanely expensive.
Now, especially now.
And look at the way Transformers has had to downsize every year.
And how more expensive, we get like Titan class, but those are really expensive.
For a Titan class.
Yeah. And stuff like that. Yep. And that's why Haslab became a thing because it's just again back in the Toys R Us days, they could probably release Star Saber, Death Stars, Giant Man, so on, so on. But nope, they can't with the current toy market nowadays.
Because we don't have a toy exclusive retail chain who's willing to throw money into stuff, which is what Toys R Us was. So
I mean, and that's
finish up your last thought.
Yeah, and that's why I think once I feel like when Bandai got let go of Power Rangers, it felt like they felt more freeing because you know what? Guess what's selling the most? Their anime stuff, the Dragon Ball and their anime heroes and stuff because they've been doing well with that, and that's been selling well because it's just action figures. It's just been action figures. That's all they need to worry about. They don't have to worry about anything role play.
I know they threw in one World Martial Arts Tournament playset,
and really it was just a diorama practically for that.
So with all that said, the reason why they're auctioning off stuff from Power Rangers is because they don't need it anymore. And I think the best way to explain why they don't need it anymore is just go through the catalog. It's 492 pages, so we're not going to go through it in depth detail, but I thought we should skim through it. For those wanting to bid on stuff.
There's certain costumes in this listing that like Hasbro's never going to use this. Why would they?
Exactly. Let's talk about it. So the thing is that this auction will be taking place November 18th to 19th in Dallas. But I believe you can bid on things online. This catalog is available to anyone. It's on the Heritage Auctions website. You can get a PDF of it. It's not the highest quality images. If you go on the Heritage Auctions website, every item has its own page and several images of it. I just pulled up this PDF because it was kind of the easiest way to look at all this. So the thing with this is that you also, apparently, if you want a hopefully high quality version of this catalog, you can purchase the catalog for $50 on the website if that's something you want as well. If you want like a nice thick book of like everything that's in the catalog, there you go. So let's take a look at what we got here. So I'm just going to skip past all the legal stuff and the people running this, and then now we have a loading page. There we go. So it's called the Hasbro auction, by the way. This is not including stuff from Shuki Levy's collection. That was a separate auction that already happened. Just so everyone knows about that. This is all stuff from Hasbro. So they have costumes like Mighty Morphin, right? This is a Mighty Morphin costume listed as an Adam Park costume. They remade the costumes for Once and Always. If they need to bring Mighty Morphin back, they'll bring him back and just make new costumes, right? Especially because these old costumes from 30 years ago are not necessarily in the best shape. Right? Makes sense, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anyways, so there's variations of the Mighty Morphin costumes through here. If you're wondering about specific versions, there's some neat details in the descriptions of them to kind of tell you, like, oh, this is why this is this, and that kind of thing. So there's some different auctions and stuff. I imagine the Green Ranger suit's going to go for a lot because of the popularity. Lord Zed's staff is up for auction.
There's like 4 of them.
There's like 4 of them. This is one of them. There's a Rita staff in the auction as well, which is pretty neat. A Scorpina costume. I was actually surprised the Scorpina costume still exists, but then I remembered, I think she was on display at Morphicon, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of these were on display at Morphicon, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty much the only reason to keep old costumes you're never going to use again is you want to take them to events. But if you're franchise on ice, you don't need it for events. Here's the gold. I think Wheels and I saw this Goldar at Morphicon 2018, right? Where he's missing chunks of his face.
It's meth head Goldar.
Yeah.
The crappy head that they keep selling to us in all the toys.
He really likes that Cheeto does.
94 Kun says, is it possible we create our own Power Rangers costumes? I mean, cosplayers have been doing it for years. Hit up the cosplay community.
For years, for
Finster
decades now.
is decaying badly.
Ninja Turtles 3 bad?
Not as bad as that. You can't see his teeth. And there's another Lord Zed staff.
Since I heard they went through several of them on production.
Mm-hmm. Here's some putty accoutrement. Here's the head to Serpentera, which is pretty neat. Because they filmed some new footage of the Serpentera.
Yeah, you're right. I was like, I certainly had no. Oh yeah, no, they would have some of that.
Yeah.
So you ever want like a Serpentera sock puppet?
We also got the head of the Thunder Megazord for that scene where it fell off when the Zords got murdered by Rito. Here, this one I was fascinated to see it's still intact. Is the hero costume for the White Ranger from the movie. This is the one they actually used for stunts and stuff. And these costumes were notoriously fragile when they filmed them. I'm surprised it's still together. There's some holes in it.
Is this the same one that was on display on FAO Schwartz years ago?
No, it was
right?
Planet Hollywood in Florida had the pink and yellow Rangers. This is I think it was the first time we've seen white in a while.
I remember FAO Schwartz had them on display once.
They might have.
I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure these are the same. I'm not sure they're the same. Dope costume. This thing.
We've got the movie helmet that has holes in it for breathing, so that's like an action helmet. Or it's called an action helmet, though. We've got the head of Saba. This is the one that would talk. It's the animatronic head. Here's another. This is an action costume. So the hero costume is the close-up version, and the action costume is
stunts.
Yeah, this is the stunts one, which actually looks like it's in better shape. It's missing the shield though, and there's another helmet. We also have a second action costume. There's multiples of these things. And then this is the Ninja.
Especially for a Hollywood production.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So there's some Ninjetti suits of variety of partial parts. Here's some partial parts for the Pink Ranger. I think it's the belt that was missing from the Planet Hollywood one.
Yeah.
Blue and yellow ninja suits, red ninja suit, red alien ranger suit. It's kind of surprising to see. And there's some variations of the Alien Ranger suits and the helmets. Not all of these are complete. That's just how auctions go. We have a Ninjor helmet. So I was trying to figure out why they had Ninjor's battle helmet.
It was just on loan.
I don't think it was on loan. I think Toei was like, "We're not using this. You want it?"
I don't know. It's one of those things where when they just don't want it, they would send it. That's why, like,
Yeah.
I once saw there's an actual photo of Saban warehouse during Turbo, and there's suits in there that they were just given because they were like, "Oh, well, you're adapting the show. Here's all the suits." There were suits there that were not ever featured in the show.
That's why there's like monsters in the Onyx Tavern that are cobbled together from parts of suits that they never used because.
I mean, they had to keep the ninja suit in space pretty much for.
Yeah, but they didn't have the battle mode version.
But it was probably part of a set. You could like
probably was. Yeah, that would make sense. More Z Buddy stuff and other stuff.
Oh god, corpses, Z Buddy corpses.
Oh, the Meow Ranger suits, guys.
Soundout. Here's the cool part. You can use those putty faces to recreate the grunts in Sailor
Moon. Wait. They had the Meow. They had the Meow Ranger suits.
The Meow Ranger suits are in.
Okay, that can be cute to buy for your pets.
Yes. There's a set of Zeo blasters. We're in the Zeo section now. There's a Zeo pink with only one Zeonizer, so the eBay curse strikes again. Here's another Zeo pink, Zeo yellow, Zeo blue. I find that like it's interesting to see the suits, but I find the props are more interesting to me.
Would the Zeo pink be the same one they use at Dimension of Danger, or was that a new suit?
That was a new suit. I think this is the older one. There's two of them. There might be one older, one newer. They may have kept some of the newer suits. It's always a possibility. Various states of there's a couple Gold Ranger suits. Here's the weird Prince Gear puppet. This is the stuff that fascinates me the most.
Oh God! Hey, look, guys! Everyone know what Gold Ranger / King Ranger look about the shield? There you go.
Yeah. It's. Oh, yeah. There's no design underneath. Isn't that funny? The part that fascinates me is these puppets. The Prince Gear puppet and the Video Vulture puppet. Like, these still exist is just blowing my mind a little bit. And we have
the fact that they have disintegrate. The fact they have like disintegrated.
That's going to go all in on the puppet. He's going to go all in on the Prince Gear.
I would.
The Endeavor Ranger.
God. No. Wait, is there any Beetleborg props available?
There are. Sam will buy
those. Sam will buy those. For the
I would. I don't have $500 though. So Zeo helmets, some auto blasters. Here's a turbo blue suit with the black version of the auto blaster, which is weird. I'm not exactly sure why they had a black version.
I think it was VRV Masters in the.
No, he didn't have a gun.
Footage. Okay, because I could have swore he shot someone in the Sentai footage once.
No, he didn't. He had a arm laser. This Green Ranger is the movie version because it doesn't have the yellow patches on the arms.
I keep forgetting there's a difference.
Yeah, the yellow patches weren't on the movie versions. 94 Coon says, which is the cheapest? Well, they all start at 500. Every lot starts at 500. Sometimes they include multiple items, sometimes just one. It's really interesting. Let's see. We're gonna keep going.
About this
Pink Ranger
is that they didn't want to break up the
movie Red Ranger
over the course of like a couple of days, where it's just like here's some seasons. They're like, no, all at once.
This is all session one. Because this auction's like massive. There's like a ton of other stuff happening. Power Ranger's just part of session one. Here's the Phantom Ranger suit. I think this is the one that has been around at Morphicon and was in that Street Fighter short. We have a Divatox costume, which is pretty rad.
Which version?
They verify whose.
It's the TV version. It's specifically. It is listed as being the. Who was the original
Hillary's or Carol's?
Hillary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon in the movie we'll have more booba.
Yeah, it had a
It didn't just have more booba. It literally had the corset.
The corset had exposed skin. It was covered up in the show for the midriff. So the midriff area, it was just like wires connecting her midriff in the movie, but in the TV show, partially because one actress was pregnant and one actress was a little heavier.
Even the more you think about it, Divatox design was like 80s mecha villainous.
Yes, yes, she was. She really was. Here's another assortment of Divatox costume bits. None of them are the movie version. They are TV version variations. Here's an in-space one. This is interesting. This Astro Blaster with the cut-off tip, I think is just the one you see in the holster. Like, it's not the one you would pull for the hero prop, which I think is interesting. They have a Galaxy Glider
I imagine it's easier not to have the tip in the holster because I imagine that might get stuck.
Yeah.
On the holster.
Or break.
Yeah,
I think
too,
so.
Yep.
The Galaxy Glider is wild because they did film a lot of new Galaxy Glider footage with the Andros one specifically. Because
because are in Mega Ranger, a lot of the Galaxy Glider stuff just in the video game Gridman portal, right?
Yeah, they were.
Do they have props from Next Mutation or no here?
They do, but it's further down the catalog.
Okay, I wasn't sure that would be under here because that's.
They put Next Mutation, they put VR Troopers, and they put Beetle. No, it's not VR Troopers. They put Beetleborg's Next Mutation in here, and Masked Rider. We'll get there. So Blue Ranger, Black Ranger, Pink Ranger again, Yellow Ranger, Silver Ranger, who comes with an Astro Blaster. Guys, who did this auction? The Lightning Collection team. That's the. It's not.
They won the Bandai Toys came with Astro Blaster. I feel like that's something they'll have done.
I think even Bandai did it well. I mean, Hasbro never had this problem, but like he comes with a holster and an Astro Blaster because I think they just had a loose one. Let's see. Let's keep going. Alpha 6 hero costume, which is pretty wild. Astronema, or technically Spawn. Technically Jessica Priest outfit from Spawn. Astronema's
Wait,
costume.
really? Wait, I never knew that.
Yes.
I never knew that.
Go watch the Spawn movie, and then they added some parts to the Power Rangers one, but that was originally a costume from the Spawn movie.
Because everyone talks about the Star Trek Troopers one. I never heard that for
Okay, hold on.
I
will pull up the picture. We must teach the children the lore.
Also, that Elgar is nightmare field.
It's more frightening than the Sentai counterpart.
There's a Five Nights at Freddy animatronic right there for Elgar's head.
Okay, check. Oh, here we go. I found the trading card. Because the GIF won't do. All right, check this out. I'm going to switch over. And then we'll wait for you to catch up. The Astronema outfit added chest armor.
Did the Lightning Collection Collection have that detail?
Yes.
That added the chest and the arms.
They added the chest, the arm blades were changed. They also had two different versions of Astronema's costume, where one she didn't have the chest armor, and it was basically just this.
Custom. So you're saying is you can put your Shaman figure in your Spawn collection.
Technically, yes. But there you go. Because you look there and you look here, and you can see where they added the shoulder pads, the new arm gauntlets, and the breastplates.
I never knew that. That's a new thing. There's a couple variations of Astronema's costume, and there's a couple variations of Jessica Priest's costume. But they did that they got it from the Spawn production because it was just because here's the thing, guys. We talk about auctions. Most movies, when they finish their movies, there's a lot of movies, especially dramas, will just rent costumes from like prop houses. But most movies that fabricate costumes, they will just auction them off when they're done doing the movie. What was the story with the Star Trek Troopers? Weren't they just in the same warehouse?
They were in the same prop house. I think they were just rented. I don't even think they purchased them. I think they just rented them. Here's Elgar's severed head.
God, that's creepy.
All right. Here was the most interesting lot, I thought. The green Astro Blasters. Because there was a toy. There was a toy where they were green. Why is there 3 props of them being green? In the description, it says the final Astro Blaster design was blue, with these having a green color scheme most likely used under blue screen filming conditions.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
because if they were blue and you're filming on blue screen, no more Astro Blaster. But if they're green, you can key it back to blue in post. So there you go. How about that?
You think for Toei and maybe Power Rangers they have a green and blue versions of Green and Blue Rangers?
So
sometimes, like there's the famous Time Ranger behind the scenes photo where everybody's on blue and blue's in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
They interchangeably use them when they need to.
Yeah. The Turbo Megazord head and shield from the Turbo movie.
You can tell by all the greebling.
Yeah.
In dirt and burnt.
Here's the heads of the Omega Megazord and the Mega Voyager.
You think? Did we ever know what happened to the Megazord puppet prop for the transformation scene?
For Turbo?
Yeah, for the Turbo movie. Was that ever
I don't think it's ever been recovered. I'm sure somebody might have it. A lot of times with props, they end up in the hands of crew because crew can sneak things out easier than actors.
Yeah, because imagine the Megazord transformation sequence for the Turbo Megazord. That was like all miniature pop.
Yeah, it was all miniatures.
I'm pretty sure.
God, I forgot what studio did it. There was a studio that did it for them.
Cause that's still like one of my favorite things in that movie is how like extra greebly the Turbo Megazord was during that.
Yes, Common Jojo. We're gonna go through the whole catalog. I'm dedicated at this point. Here's the interesting thing. So this is the actual miniature, the transforming miniature for the Astro Megazord.
This was at Morphicon, one of the recent Morphicons.
One of the Morphicons, yeah. That. It also originally was at the Tokyo Toy Fair 1997.
Yeah, because it was from Toei.
Yeah,
and Toei just gave it.
I think what Power Rangers did is that because Power Rangers had this misconception that Mega Ranger took place in space, which easy to do. Look at the footage. What I believe happened was that Toei, like they probably were talking to Toei, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing the whole season on a spaceship, like you guys did." And they're like, "Nah, that's not what we did." Oh, well, we need a spaceship prop for new footage, and they're like, "Here you go." They didn't say give it back to us at the end, which is probably why they could use the Astro Mega ship in Lost Galaxy.
The fact that it was that you could actually transform this thing probably means it's the same model for both, like outer, like ship shots and the transformation sequence.
Yeah,
the fact that it's pure as a supersized deluxe toy.
This confirms to me though that the Astro Mega ship unique footage was all shot with the same original model, which is why it matched so well. Because this is the same original model that Toei had. I think it was the same exact thing. So all the new stuff they shot a ton of it, especially during Lost Galaxy. And so this was definitely that. And thank you, Zeltrax. PMC 2018 was when it was on display.
Yeah, we saw it.
It does still transform. Because here's a shot of it transformed. Which is wild.
It's a Jumbo Megazord, the original.
Now here's the interesting part. There's another Mega Shuttle. But there's a Mega V2. There's a Mega V2 transformation filming model, which they never filmed any Mega V2 footage. But Toei may have been, you gonna film more spaceships? Here, have a spaceship.
Yeah, they were like, take it.
Because Toei wasn't keeping a lot of these props around, because for the same reasons that these are being auctioned off now, warehouse space and stuff.
Mecha suits are especially, I think, they just throw away because because didn't they recreate a lot of the mecha suits for Gokai? Was it Gokaiger versus Goseiger? No, Gokaiger versus Ghostbusters.
Gokaiger versus Ghostbusters. They had to remake suits. That's why Deca Ranger Robo's been able to show up in the recent movies because they already remade. That
also explain why certain mecha appeared in Zenkaiger, right? Because those are just the ones they had.
Just the ones they had, yeah. Someone asked how big the ship model is. This Astro Mega ship is 24 inches by 23 inches by 10.5 inches.
I saw the footage at PMC. It was pretty big.
Yeah, the whole Mega ship, the whole ship is 37 inches by 18 inches by 7 inches. Oh no, sorry, that's the Astro Megazord form. 22 by 20 by 10.
You think Hasbro would have took this problem and gave it to the toy design team to use for their Zap Megazord? Nope.
You'd think. The Mega V2 is 16 by 12 by 5, so it's pretty big. They also have the shield form of the Mega V2, which makes sense because they had a Mega Voyager costume. And there also is the Mega V3 filming model, which once again, not sure. They just probably got that. Toei was like, we're done with this. You want it? That's usually how this goes. And then here's Mega V5 as well. And a very interesting cast-signed crew jacket for the series. I thought this was actually pretty interesting. Is that it's signed by the main cast of the show.
This is very common TV production. A lot of TV productions do something like this. I know that.
Yeah. Hellfire says, I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro wasn't aware they had this when making the Zap Megazord. It's possible because Melissa Flores, who used to be a producer on Power Rangers, now she just writes the only currently ongoing Power Rangers narrative. Go Melissa. She was talking about when she started working at Saban, they were trying to catalog everything they got back from Disney, and it was like a nightmare to find everything.
Not surprised.
All right, here's a Lost Galaxy green suit. Here's a Lost Galaxy yellow suit. A pink suit. Quasar sabers. They have Quasar sabers in this. I would buy a Quasar saber maybe if I had the money.
I know you would.
Blue Ranger, Red Ranger, a couple other more Red Rangers. You can buy Magna Defender's dead kid. How is he still around? I'm surprised that they actually had this.
Wait, here's a big example. Why would Hasbro keep this suit?
Exactly.
What are they use it for? He's dead.
Why would they keep the Zika suit? No reason to. Why would they keep the top half of Trakina?
So here's the thing, Santa. If they had the Magna Defender suit, will you buy it? Will you buy it?
I would have figured some way to bid on the Magna Defender, yes. But I imagine Toei has it because they used Bull Black as recent as Space Squad.
Yep.
So, I think the one they used for Super Mega Force was a loner, which is why he was only in that one scene.
That also will explain why Magna Defender was not in Drakina's Revenge also.
Yeah. They probably never had their own suit. They probably just had to borrow it. That would make sense. Andrea said, "Honey, I want to buy this dead kid in an auction real quick."
That sounds like a Honey I Shrunk. That sounds like a Honey I Shrunk sequel.
Oh, totally. There's two different versions of Trakina's headpiece here. The earlier one.
And the weird bug on her head.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They did use Bull Black in Zenkaiger. That's right, Psychos. That was the most recent time. Here is Red Lightspeed Carter Grayson Red Lightspeed Ranger. With Battle
I do remember the bikes were on a different auction before this one.
Yeah, I think the bike, the Battleizer bike was on the Shuki Levy auction. Shuki Levy, Haim Saban, both pieces of shit. That's not slander. I got stories to back it up.
They are.
Two more Red Ranger suits, Blue Ranger suit, another blue, another green. Interestingly, with an all-blue blaster and an all-red blaster, which I think were the Mega Battles.
Is titanium suits here?
No, it's not. That's the interesting part. When we talk about, like, people are like, oh, historical significance, the Titanium Ranger suit, which Toei would not have a duplicate of, because all these Ranger suits, Toei has copies of, because they did it for Gokaiger. They still have suits, right?
And Titanium was made by Plex, which is, Toei.
Here we go. We go from Yellow Ranger into parts of the Batling to the Demonite head, the Olympius head, and then we go to Time Force. No Titanium Ranger suit, which I would say is a good sign that they kept the Titanium Ranger suit somewhere.
Also, I forget with the whole Lightspeed suits. The mask thing, the breeder mask. That the reason why you could see it is because the visor, because
it's a visor opacity thing.
Yeah, it's because don't they have like two versions of visor? One where it's like fully opaque, so you don't see the breeder mask.
Yes, you can see it here with like most of these. I don't think they have two of the same Ranger, but you notice Pink, you can see the visor mask on Pink, but you can't see it on Yellow.
Because that's why in Legendary Battle, that's why you could see Titanium Ranger's breeder mask thing.
Yes, because his face shield had faded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think the Titanium Ranger suit's safe somewhere. That's definitely a possibility. Also, Olympius is missing his lower jaw.
Here, what is he with the zombies? Why these monsters look like a zombie decrepit corpses? There you
go. Red Time Force Ranger, blue, another blue.
Are the helmets the action ones or the hero, like the up close?
They have hero and action for all the Time Force Rangers. The Chrono Blaster's so yellowed on greens.
That's the unfortunate thing about the Shout Factory DVDs is like now you can see them in like the series of high quality. When you do close-up shots in some scenes in Time Force and the US footage, you can really tell it's the helmet they can see through because it's see through essentially that.
They do have a pair of the Time Force uniforms. They have Jen's and Lucas's, which is kind of interesting. And then here's a set of helmets. They're all action helmets. And they have the Rancid costume here. Which
what, the mask?
Sweet. No, it doesn't have that eyepiece. It's just two. There's an action and a hero Rancid costume. There's also a hero costume for Nadira. We got a couple. What was that?
Oh, I
recall Vernon actually Bond let Vernon walk away.
Get the mask, yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. If you ask the right producer, you can walk off set with something.
Also, the hair. I love Nadira. The hair is part of the helmet.
Yes. And that actually came from the Japanese design, too. Cyclobots, Wild Force, nothing too remarkable here. It's just mostly Wild Force suits.
It's I don't know in our luck the reason he has those props are because he said, hey, I want that as a part of my contract since I don't usually do TV.
It's very possible. They got some high caliber talent for Time Force. Here's The Master Orb final form head and the Gindrax head.
I mean, it was still a Union show, right? Time Force.
I think it was the first. I think Time Force and I think Wild Force was Union. Yeah,
Wild Force I think both of them were Union.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's great about the Gindrax head?
Yeah.
I met the voice actor at this most recent Well, he only did the first few episodes, but you know, it's the Batosai.
Yeah.
Richard Cancino.
Here's some Ninja Storm suits.
Gindrax won. Then they replaced him with somebody else.
I know I'm going kind of quick through the suits. They're just not as... I just don't find them as interesting as some of the props, because, like, you know... Lothor's suit. The Mar and Capri costumes as well. And the Kelzak. Also, we're on page 138 of 492. I gotta get this moving. Kelzak.
I got Lothor's Luchador mask.
Yeah, the Dragozord egg for the Dragozord from Dino Thunder. That's here. That's pretty cool.
Wow, really? That's actually cool to see that prop.
Yeah, a set of helmets for all 5 Rangers plus Triassic. Complete set of Dino Thunder red stuff, which is pretty amazing. A couple bundles of red, blue.
The fact that they had the Super Dino modes, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, black, white again. The Triassic mode.
Do they have any of the weird gadgets they have in Dino Thunder here?
They do. There's a lot here that comes with the box that holds the morphers. Some of the locks for the doors.
Oh wow, really?
They have the eggs for the dino eggs for the Raptor Riders. They have a Pteranodon costume. Some of it. It's not a complete costume, but it's
do they have the weird Power Morpher thingy? Power Morpher prop thingy they use in the final episodes?
I don't think so. They have the infamous Silver Stripe Green Ranger, at least part of it.
Part of it. The shield went somewhere.
They also have the White Ranger for this episode.
Oh god, he looks naked. He looks naked with the belt.
I know. They got Tyrannodrone costume, Triptoid costume. Here's the Super Dino mode Red Ranger, who's missing part of his shoulders.
I swear that's a separate suit, but yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, there's blue, and there's Super Dino mode yellow without her wings. And then Super Dino mode black. Because I imagine those wings just got shredded at some point. They were so thin. Super Dino mode white.
I also imagine those were probably a separate like thing they could Velcro on and off, I imagine.
Yeah. There's like 3 Super Dino mode whites because they used him a lot because the evil clone White Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Another Tyrannodrone, another Triptoid. You got Haley's computer, some photos from Onset, that kind of stuff.
Do they have any of the Mezagog?
Okay, sorry. It's a group of 250 plus miscellaneous hand props.
Oh, wow.
If you guys want to bid on the best bang for your buck, look for these prop bundles. Do
they have any animatronic heads like Mezagog, Doggy Kruger, or anything like that?
No look at Mezagog. We're about to get to Doggy Kruger. We're in SPD. You can get a set of 6 helmets, the 5 SWAT helmets, the Boom Orange Ranger helmet.
Hey.
Hey. See you later, Common Jojo. SPD Red. The SPD Red uniform for Jack, plus the sidearm and everything.
There's a difference?
Well, it's because it's the civilian uniform.
Oh, right. Oh, you mean... Oh, yeah, yeah. For a second there.
Another red. SWAT mode red. We got blue. We got blue civilian. Blue SWAT mode. Green civilian. Green SWAT mode.
I thought they never had a toy of their, like, civilian handgun things. Those are always cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised, too. And yellow SWAT mode. Pink's...
It's like you're always seeing, like, Ultraman Special Ray.
And then the decaying remains of Doggy Kruger.
Oh no, Ninja Turtles 3 bad?
He's getting there. He doesn't look as bad as Meth Goldar, but he's not looking great.
This is like olden years Doggy Kruger.
Animatronic head includes 1 fiberglass helmet with an attached structure that controls the alien's facial features, contains metal wiring, mechanics, and electrical components. Professionally sculpted and painted foam blue rubber piece fits over the helmet. Costume includes 1 Geese-style navy leather jacket and cloak with red trim, 2 pairs of silver foam pauldrons, 1 leather lead belt, 1 silver resin buckle attached to accessory packs. That's also kind of cool, too, is because of the descriptions, we know what materials these costumes were made out of.
I mean, it's really cool to know how the head works. That's really cool.
Yeah, that there's a helmet and then the head goes on top. And here's the thing, guys. The sucky part about seeing all this stuff gets auctioned off is a little sad and bittersweet. But at the same time, we get to find out info and pictures about this stuff that we never would have gotten without
Power Rangers Power Ranger is like the least known behind the scenes thing
Yeah.
Of like other like a lot of these like kids media stuff. So it's kind of this is like the closest we can get to knowing how the behind the scenes of these series were,
and like knowing what materials they're made out of. It's really cool. They also have a couple Shadow Ranger costumes too.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Wheels interviewed John Tui, who played Shadow Ranger. Couple Omega Rangers. You can buy Rick or Muffy.
The whole prop, Mike.
The whole prop. It's the sitting version specifically, but you can buy the full sitting version.
I'm not surprised there are multiple, because I imagine there was a sitting Rick prop, like standing Rick prop.
Yep.
So is the head like animatronic, or is it just a static statue?
It says, let's see, resin fiberglass metal. Dog is mostly white. Features the components exhibit wear age, studio repairs, minor cracks and chips to resin paint. Electronics untested due to weight and size. Shipping special shipping arrangements and prices will apply. It doesn't mention if it's got an animatronic head or if it's just a puppet.
Because whenever Rick moves his head, was that always up close shots of his head?
It was always up close shots, yeah.
That might be like a hero version of his head then, probably.
They call it Hero Rick, so it's probably the one that actually animates. Here's Grum's staff, here's Grum's costume, but I don't see Grum's head. Probably decayed.
Probably really decayed, probably.
Yeah.
Already a skull.
We've got some Crybots, orange head. A-Squad, red, blue, green, yellow, pink, in various states of completion. So you get some good shots of them, which is nice.
I'm not surprised these are very incomplete because they haven't reused these suits in years, so they're probably falling apart.
Yeah, a couple more Crybot pages, some more SPD paraphernalia.
God, it makes me I keep forgetting that
there's
A-Squad.
2 sets of the Ranger uniforms, which is why I think it was SPD Green was like, man, can I buy one of them? Like, you got 2, and that's also why I'm like, that's why I'm like, I say like production should offer the chance for actors to buy costumes from the production at the end because they have so many duplicates,
I also keep forgetting that the A-Squad armor is just literally hockey armor.
Yeah. There's a couple bundles of props for like sword weapons and cards and data pieces and lab equipment. Mystic Force, we got green, we got pink, we got blue,
it's
yellow,
one of the things
red.
where one of the things where you realize the Disney era had a lot of props.
They did
during those era, like a lot, and not just like
they spent some money on those seasons. I'm surprised though they have a Mystic Mother or a White Mystic Ranger costume intact.
Did they have any of the Korag or Wolf Warrior costumes?
No, and I wonder if that
those are loans.
Yeah. The interesting part too, they grouped up 3 Mystic Lion staffs with the snow staff for Udana instead of including the Udana snow staff with her. So that's an interesting.
It makes me wonder: did the person who ranges know what's what and which goes where?
They seem to know because they have a lot of information. It's just they're with an auction this big, there's going to be just some slip ups. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Here's Daggeron's Solaris Knight outfit. It's now easier to buy a Solaris Knight than the Solaris Knight costume than a toy of Solaris Knight.
Yeah.
Here's some civilian outfits, some helmets, some grunts, some monsters. Here's another monster, Destructipede.
Did they have Nekarai? Because they reused that costume a lot during Neosaman.
Oh, somehow, for some reason, Olympius's Shadow World form is all the way in the Mystic Force section.
Whoop! I guess so. I didn't realize that belonged in the wrong season.
Yeah, I think it just got.
Wait. So you're saying, what is it? King Salamander's form, or is it the dragon form?
It's like the dragon form with the tail.
All right, show me. I didn't see that.
It's coming. The stream will catch up.
The lost Shadow Dragon.
Yeah, it'll catch up on the stream. There's also the Olympius Super Demon form as well.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know why these were lot numbered here. Oh, I guess this is just monster section because I just realized Destructipede is from In Space. They're just like after Mystic Force they just start throwing in monsters because these lot numbers are in order.
Yeah.
But there's also you can get Gluto. He's missing a foot.
Oh no!
And he's missing his hands.
Diabetes.
Yeah, he lost those.
Frax is missing his legs and his right hand.
Oh, he's used to it.
And he's missing the plate in his head. Moltor is here.
Wait, question about the Frax. Does this set because Frax has the whole eye pop out thing. Was that a separate prop, or is that part of the helmet?
I think that was a separate prop. I don't think it was always.
Yeah, I imagine.
Moltor here is missing a sword, but he's got his mirror.
Did he ever use that?
Flurious is here, and his stuff is super yellowed because of the material he used. But
I'm not surprised.
Head and all, Flurious is here.
Wait, the head? Like
the head's there.
I thought the head was makeup.
It is, but it's a head mask that would be molded to the face.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's latex in a sense.
Like a latex mask, yeah.
Oh, there's Necroli.
There's Necroli. She's still here.
Is it because didn't they modify Necroli's costume for Mystic Force?
They did,
from the original.
Because boobies.
Yep.
Jungle Fury Rantipede head with the bag that goes over it too, which is kind of neat. Plus the suit, the full costume on this one.
Do we have RJ's horrible wolf form here?
I don't think so. Let's see. We got the Gakko costume for Jungle Fury. We've got Toady from Jungle Fury.
I'm
Stingerella
here.
Wait, are all the poisons here? That's hilarious.
Nadja. We're getting close to all of them.
5 of them are here.
Red Shadow Guard number 1. Red Shadow Guard number 2. So both the white and black. We got Sonamax. There's a lot of Jungle Fury costumes. I see why they ended up using them later. Dynamere.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the suits they will end up reusing during Neo Spawn will be here.
Yeah.
Because they're the most recent ones.
Rammer, Grinder, Osiris. We've got Lepus. Here's Master Xandred's sword. And Master Xandred.
Does he come with his booze bottle?
He does not come with his bottle because this is American footage.
God, I would love to have that suit, but that's going to go for a pretty penny.
I got Octoroo. He never dies, so that makes sense.
He escaped that weasel.
You guys want Sledge? Sledge is up here.
I'm not surprised because that's also another one that was in the Power Con.
Yeah,
guys, you gotta have fun in Japan.
There's Poisandra's axe, and here is Poisandra. Interestingly, the Poisandra photo they used looks like Poisandra's actually there's somebody in it. It doesn't look like a mannequin because she's posed. But there's that.
I wonder. Part of me thinks like, what if that? Part of me feels like that's like a recent like soft photo they probably took for like during Beast Morphers. I don't know. It feels like
or they just had a really like posed mannequin they put it on, or somebody was taking the photos like, can I wear that one?
They want to look fabulous.
We got Wrench.
Did they have the whole? Did they have the whole Sledge crew?
They have the whole Sledge crew. Yeah, they got Wrench. We got Curio. We've even got Spellbinder, and we've got Puzzler, including his alternate faces. We've got Galvanax as well.
Honestly, I'm really surprised with all the Kyoryuger suits they kept. Because you think Toei would ask those back because they love to reuse the Kyoryuger villains a lot.
Yeah. Here is Ripcon as well.
I know it's no slide.
No slide. Yeah. I think I want to say that with Kyoryuger, the main Sledge crew, because they kept coming back so often, I bet
those are recreations.
I bet these are. I bet they may have borrowed for Dino Charge. They may have borrowed Sledge's crew, but they remade them because they kept bringing them back. They were in Ninja Steel. They were in Beast Morphers. Like they probably needed to make their own set of suits, which is probably what they were. That's my guess. Is that those are the Ninja Steel suits for Sledge's crew, and they probably borrowed from Toei Sledge's crew, right? But then they probably made their own suits, maybe during Dino Charge or during Ninja Steel when they brought him back.
Was Sly a borrowed one because he came back in Beast Morphers? Then I wonder.
Yeah, that might have been a borrowed as well. Here's some Madame Odious accessories, and then Madame Odious as well. This is session 2, by the way. Madame Odious starts session 2, so I don't know what that means exactly, but I don't know auctions. I know auction stuff. I just don't know like details like that. Here's Badana. Here's all of the Cosmo Royale hero masks. So it's the hat, the head, and then all the different faces for Cosmo Royale. Notice no Cosmo Royale suit. Because they
probably... Was that borrowed? Yeah, that probably was borrowed, yeah.
I imagine it was borrowed, and they just made the head.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know it's no red bot. I'm surprised.
Yeah, no red bot. But then maybe
that was probably. Wait, is Red Bot's head here?
I don't know yet. We're still. Oh god, we're only halfway through. Let's keep going. We got Abracadanger. We've got Scrozzle. no toy.
Oh
But
no. Skrulls is here. No, I want. There's one thing I wish they kept with Skrulls. They keep cutting back this like the cockroach he is.
I know. We've got Goldar Maximus, which is of course Neo Griffiza. That of course was a recreation because it's been so many years after that crossover that they actually made it.
The suit's probably not even intact anymore.
Exactly. We've got Turbotron from Beast Morphers. All the Beast Morpher suits we knew were new, so I'm surprised there's only like Turbotron here. Here is Void King. They did make a new Void King suit, or Toei didn't want their suit back, whatever it was. Mucus. Makes sense that they'd have their own Mucus costume for how often she was in the show.
Well, I think because I'm always saying Void King because I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Toei. I don't think Toei probably wants him back. Probably just not gonna bring the character back.
And we have Scyther as well. Here's Dino Fury Zed with his staff.
His roided up self.
We've got Rigul, which is the one that brought Zed back. We've got Wolfgang. Here is the Master Zed from Cosmic Fury, which couldn't even hold up to do a fight in production. So I gotta imagine whoever buys this is gonna be insanely careful with it.
Yeah, it's like you guys don't touch it, don't breathe on it. It's gonna shatter to pieces.
We got Bajillionaire.
I'm surprised.
We got Squillia.
I'm surprised Vengex or Evox is not here because I figured they had to remake that.
Thought so too. Here's also Inkworth. Here is Scuttleworm. I don't know why Scuttleworm's photo's all blacked out.
Say hello to the butler.
We've got Snoudia. And we've got here's Robo Minotaur.
You know, I always wonder with Power Rangers Monster Bands, if they have a dartboard.
Robo Snizzard.
Do you think they have a dartboard of adjectives they name their monsters after?
Yes.
Like this drawing?
Just like Transformers does with variations of the word blast. Hellfire says, I just remember no Jungle Fury Spirit Rangers. Very good point. That's also something missing. Robo Rita plus accessories. Now we have Operation Overdrive Red.
We're back to Rangers.
Sentinel Ranger, yellow, blue, weapons, pink, assortment of accessories for the Rangers. Black, Mercury.
The
Sentinel Knight, not the Zubon suit, but the regular Sentinel Knight.
The spirited form.
Yep. This was interesting. They have one of the Bokenger cockpit pieces, the one that actually moves.
When did they use those in Overdrive?
They didn't. I think Toei was like, "Hey, maybe you'll need this. We don't need it anymore." Yeah.
Also, I kind of want to get the Sentinel sword.
They probably had to have that when they recreated the cockpits.
No, because they never did a cloak. Because this isn't just a steering wheel. It's specifically the steering wheel that moves.
For the whole transformation.
For the transformation thing with the little slide out piece and all that. They never filmed any footage of that. They could have just used it and just not moved it, but there's that. You can get the Corona Aurora in an auction. I don't know why they spent a whole season hunting it down. With multiple jewels. I
kind of think that's amazing. That's actually pretty hype.
It's pretty cool. There's also ancient relics, the stuff that they found jewels in, which is pretty awesome. We got the Mercury Ranger drive detector.
Were these all Bokenger borrowed? Like
some were new. So it was a mix. Here's one of the grunts, the lava lizard, and we also got Miratrix's costume. We've got Chiller. There's lava lizard heads, Chiller.
That's what
Daishi's here. Damn it, that's a suit I would buy.
Or the armor suit or Jared's suit?
The armored Daishi suit. The Rio one. Yeah. Jungle Fury.
That one I'm surprised Toei, because they like to use Rio a lot. I guess unless this is
I think Toei's got a few Rios on
that's probably the case, yeah.
Jungle Fury comes with the glasses.
That's
with red. And the weapons.
Hey, look! Hey, don't like the Bandai America toy? Don't like the Bandai America toy?
Yeah.
Fighties.
Blue, the Master Claws. Yellow, weapons. The Rinshi. Here's RJ's suit. The Wolf Warrior. And then assortment of weapons, which includes like all the master weapons and stuff.
No horrible wolf costume that's on the same budget as your wolf costume.
No, it doesn't seem like it. We got the Rhino Ranger weapons, Jungle Master Red, Strike Rider armor. It's just the armor plate and the helmet.
Yeah, you can imagine it was just a vest
Yeah.
they put on the suit.
Here's the cannon. Here's the Renshi again. Here's Flit. There's 2 copies of Flit.
I was wondering if they would have Flit.
Yeah, they got Flit, which is great. Camille's civilian outfit and Camille's armored outfit.
Question for Flit, is one like a, because it had animatronics in it,
yes.
the Flit puppet?
One is listed as hero and one is listed as action.
Yeah, okay, I figure. Yeah, one's like just a prop. One's the one with the moving mouth.
Yeah.
Everything.
Here we've got the Renshi Beast henchman, another Renshi set, the RPM jackets, which we know these are duplicates because there's a story that was told at Morphicon recently that like I think the Red Rangers smuggled out everybody's jackets. It was the last season. The show was canceled. They could get away with more then. If you're in a season, if you're in a TV show and you're on the last season, you're gonna get stuff better than if you're on a season that's a show that's still going.
I'm sad there's no Pizza Karma outfits.
Yeah, there's the weapons, RPM red, another red, more weapons, blue, blue, more weapons, yellow, yellow, more weapons, green, green, more weapons, black, black, more weapons, gold, weapons.
By the way, thank you for
helmets.
all 46 people still watching this stream.
Yes, thank you everybody that's still watching because we're like 3.5 hours in and we still got 100 pages to go. We're going through this. Silver.
I still can't believe they wanted to do these auctions like so back to back to back. It's just
they really want to get rid of them.
They really want Hasbro want their money.
I know, but you'd think you'd want to piecemeal this out so it wouldn't be so overwhelming.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they didn't care. I think they just wanted them out.
I'm going to say this
out
right
the
now.
door.
But this is how all these Hollywood auctions go. Every Hollywood auction I've looked at is just an overwhelming amount of stuff.
There's at least a guarantee that some of these props will get so overlooked that someone might be able to walk away with the bare minimum bid, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's possible. If you want something, you can bid the minimum.
Clearly, the guy that's like sorting these out cares, but the person, the company selling them, just want them out. Thank you, Hasbro.
Yeah. Like Jeremy Carr said, please hit the like button if you haven't already. It really
helps.
Yeah.
Isn't the Hellfire Man?
Hellfire Mansion, what's at the bottom of their morphers? That's the belt piece. That's the holster.
Handle, yeah.
Yeah, because they could hook to the belt, so that was the piece that hooks them. IR says it's the highest quality images we had for Power Rangers suits and props outside of suit books in Japan. Yeah, pretty much. That's the benefit of these auctions, is you get a lot of photos of things. And like I said, the images are kind of low quality in this PDF, but on the website, every item, every lot has its own gallery of images. More props and blasters. More variations of grinders. Samurai, red. Mega Mode vests. Weapons, morphers. Mega Mode, Shark Mode in different forms. Yellow stuff. Pink stuff.
I'm surprised they kept a lot of these props.
I'm surprised too. Green stuff. Gold. There's also a gold morpher here. I don't know what this gold morpher is. It's not the gold morpher, but it's just a gold painted morpher. Not exactly sure there. But anyways, Gold Ranger. What's interesting is it's shinier.
I'm trying to catch up to it. It's like lagging.
Yeah, it's always a little... You'll see it. It's at the same page as the Wood Spear.
I think the gold one is supposed to be G Shoto phone.
Oh, that's right. Here's blue stuff, blue, pink, Moogers. God, they were called Moogers?
Yeah.
Man.
and in the next season, Loogies.
Yeah, that's right. Action training suits. Training suits. Weapons. Daiu's weapons in here. Daiu's not in this auction, but Daiu's weapons is here.
I was probably sent back to Toei.
Mega Mode.
Is Decker's suit here? Or that was probably sent back to
Probably
Toei,
sent back as well. I don't see Decker's suit. Here's the Mega Modes for the Samurai Rangers. That's why they had the Super Mega Mode vests separate, because those are separate. Those are just added onto these. But there's all 6 Mega Modes. Here's another partial Mega Mode. More Moogers. The Shogun Battleizer costume. Oh my god.
All right, so It's just red because
it's just red.
With...
They confirmed this back when they made the show. They made red, and then they VFX'd in the other colors.
Because there was in show, it was only what, red, pink, and blue.
Blue, yeah.
That was on screen.
And then green and yellow were seen as part of the transformation scene. But anything
that
wasn't, they did it all in post for anything that wasn't red. Red was the only suit.
Wait, so even blue and pink when they're on active, those are VFX.
Those are VFX.
Wow.
The Samurai VFX team was incredible. They pulled off some great. You could not tell that it's just digitally recolored blue or pink.
That's impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I think they had other helmets for the other ones, but I don't know where the helmets
they had to. You can VFX the color, but I don't think you can VFX the like crown.
Yeah, they don't have the other helmets in the auction, but that is at least Shogun Red. I was gonna say Ghost Ager, but it's Megaforce. Megaforce Red, blue, black.
I was gonna say the Shogun Ranger is one of the best American suits they made. It's so cool.
There's some Ranger keys included here. There's some Megaforce weapons.
Like the key keys are the little.
Ultra mode is interesting. They're just a vest and gloves and a torso because I think that was just added on. Yeah. That's actually kind of the neat thing is that from this we can learn what were just add-on parts and what were fully new suits.
Question for the keys: are those like the key keys, or were those like the statues you see?
Those are the statue keys because they only show them from the back. I imagine they're not detailed. You get Robo Knight.
Oh, sorry, is that? No, that has to be. Yeah, that was original because they did skits with him.
Yep.
During Megaforce.
Yeah, like when he was rapping with that kid in the library. You get some generic Ranger keys.
I was thinking the laundry. I was thinking the laundry video.
That too. There's the Loogie. Super Megaforce suits with Ranger keys included, but they're just like the generic keys because that's what they did all the Power Ranger shots.
Are the Sentai only suits here? I'm curious.
No, they are not. Someone checked for those.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, the Sentai only suits because they had filmed with new footage for the Sentai only suits, but I think they went right back to Toei because they're not here.
Yeah.
Here we got Dino Charge Red accessories.
Is there two? Is there two Robo Knights or one's Dark Robo Knight?
One is the action, one's the hero, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, they're both action costumes. Okay, there's just two of them.
Oh, that's cool. They had the stone versions of the
the stone versions of the Morphers. We got the Black Ranger accessories. Of course, the Armed On was an accessory, not a new suit. Blue Ranger accessories, Green Ranger accessories, Pink Ranger accessories. I wish we had these photos when Lightning Collection was happening.
I know. This is like I mean the Lightning Collection designers are kicking themselves.
They're like, oh, we could have had an archive if Hasbro just wanted to sell stuff off sooner. Because here's the thing too. People are when we asked this question earlier why they didn't have like some of the stuff for Lightning Collection. This was all probably sitting in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I just realized these aren't sitting here. They were in New Zealand until now.
For a whole decade, probably.
For like a whole decade plus. They were all in New Zealand, and they probably just pulled all this stuff back. Oh, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, that does make more sense.
Cyan, silver. Was there gray? I don't think they have a. Oh, they have gray. Yeah, gray.
Oh, graphite. Rare. It was called graphite here.
Sir, I am going to get through all these pages, and I'm going to call it gray. There's Tauren. The Jugenshi are just the deluxe ones from the...
Yeah, because they just used the toy props for...
And specifically the one that was the pack with the metallic painted ones.
Yeah.
Keeper.
Wing.
You can get Keeper.
How's it? Actually, I was ask how's it met them? Oh no, they use them recently, so it's probably not that think up.
More accessories, more helmets.
Guy's head looks ginormous.
Vivix.
I don't know why.
It's because it's a mannequin instead of a person in the suit, so it's not like all fluffed up properly. More props. The Samba and the Samba de Carnival. Oh, I don't remember what this is called.
Super Down Charge.
The words are right there, and I should read them. The TRX Supercharged mode. There's two versions of it. Actually, there's three. There's four versions. All of them are here. All of them are here.
Are they separate costumes or just add-ons?
It says Supercharged Hero Mode, costume, and accessories. So it's original 39-piece costume. Oh my god.
39. Christ.
Yeah, so it includes all the options because all the boots and stuff. Super Drive mode, red, black.
Yeah, because Dino Drive would just been a vest. So I appreciate it's the same vest for both modes.
Yeah, it is the same vest for both modes. This is just a Super Dino Drive. Pink's missing her belt for some reason. Graphite, Violet, Aqua, Silver,
and Green. Is it Green has his mount? Like, can you go back to Green? Is that the drive helmet, or is that the normal green helmet?
That's the normal green helmet instead of the drive.
I guess they lost. I guess they lost the drive green helmet.
MJ Klein says, "Hope you don't get burned out after the stream going over this." I'm going to go sit and read One Piece after this, and I'm going to enjoy my life.
I mean, honestly, like
this is fun. I like this.
No, because honestly, the most funness is just the learning behind the scenes stuff.
Yes,
with this.
I like this. No Dino Drive Gold. Yeah, that's a good point. There's no gold. It's funny because this figure was the hardest one to get too. More accessories. Another keeper. This one is probably the remake, I think, because he's a little brighter in the face. Ninja Steel. Super Ninja Steel sword. Ninja Steel drive mode.
Chainsaw. They got the chainsaw sword.
It's all pretty recent stuff, but it makes sense. There's pink. There's gold. Gold. They even got the poncho form for gold. I like that poncho form. It's like a real cowboy. This was the most fascinating thing in this entire auction for me. They did not borrow a Jiraiya suit.
They made
a Jiraiya suit for Sarah Skyfire. Is that wild? That they not only didn't borrow a Jiraiya, they made their own Jiraiya, and it's up for auction. Like, it's crazy to me.
I mean, you guys realize Brazil and France are going to fight for that.
I know. Yeah. Big deal. They also have the Lionfire suit. Here's Redbot. They do have Redbot.
Is the whole suit or just the head?
Whole suit. Whole suit for Redbot. So, pretty rad. Do you want the MacGuffin of the Ninja Nexus Prism? They sell that.
Also, I find it interesting to know for the Lionfire armor that it's just two different chest plates, like just different chest plates depending which ranger use it. It's actually really cool to see.
It is pretty cool.
Also, God, I imagine the shipping this thing will be a nightmare because of the Ninja Nexus because it's giant.
It's huge.
Prop.
Yeah, that's a huge prop. Couple of the they have all 6 training costumes. They're just only showing pictures of 2. Kudabot costumes. The freaking stupid hoverboard. I hate that hoverboard. I'm a teenager.
Cool
and I build a hoverboard. How?
Cool design. I like
really cool design. It references. I think the thing with the hoverboard that
is that damn
that is Monty's costume.
Oh, no,
they didn't bother putting. They didn't put regular
gag.
Monty's costume on here. It's the box Monty from that one episode.
Yeah, it's the gag. They made a whole costume for that gag.
It's so weird. Anyways, here's Beast Morphers. We got red accessories, including those American claws. We got blue with the keys. They come with the keys too, which is neat. There's a bundle of the Morpher and the keys as well. We've got yellow, who comes with one of the American weapons. More accessories. The Cheetah Blaster with the electronic components to do the light up. Which is pretty rad.
Is the weird helmet that goes over red when he does the blaster, is that here?
No, it is not. I always wondered if that was a VFX thing. But
yeah, I was thinking, was that a VFX thing then?
It might have been. Beast Morphers had budget. Gold, more keys and accessories and stuff.
Do they have steel? I wonder. They probably have.
They have this Ranger form. They have a bundle. You can get the giant ass bow with the arrow.
That's cool.
We got Beastbot heads. 2 heads of red and blue. You can
just
buy a whole ass Jax.
Well, yeah, because it's probably just one giant prop.
Yep. They have Blaze and Roxy's. They have Blazes. Sorry, not just Roxy's. It's just Blaze. It's the 2 versions of Blaze, regular and Robo Blaze.
Robo, yeah.
In the civilian looks, they have Roxy on the next page.
I forgot the Robo version has their own keys. I got they just transform automatically.
Yeah. They also have the Evox drain suck thing, the suitcase. Then they've got they got both versions of Roxy's costume, plus they have the Tronics costume. Now we're into Dino Fury. The Dino Chucks that I forgot they even had.
I guess Steel was borrowed then.
I guess so. Also, I guess same with Blaze and Roxy's Ranger forms.
Yeah.
They also got the versions of the sword. They got the
dagger form and the Chroma Fury saber.
Yeah, and the one from the key that they used in the Megazord.
Yeah, the Mega Fury saber for the cockpit stuff.
Yep. They got the Dino Chucks.
That made me wish that, like, for every Ranger, they use that specific weapon from their key. Like, Pink would have the hammer and
that'd be really cool.
Kind of wish they did that. Oh, that would be expensive.
Fire Fear says no Roxy Ranger suit that was yellow. I'm still not sure if that wasn't VFX. Do we have a picture of the Roxy suit, the yellow Roxy suit, or is there only the purple one? Because I'm wondering if that was a VFX change.
I think that would be really too expensive if it was always VFX.
Like the digital coloring stuff you can do now, like in the era that they did Beast Morphers, would make it doable. I mean, back during Jungle Fury, they censored Camille's boobies every episode digitally that they used Sentai footage for. So I don't know. Here's blue, some keys, some swords, some pink, some black, some green, and we got gold, and they got some other accessories.
The keys are all the Bandai toys, right?
No, they're the Bandai Japan ones.
No, that's what I mean. They're the toys, right?
They're the toys. They're the buttons and everything. They've got the Zenith Ranger suit, of course, minus
Ghost
the helmet.
Ranger.
Yeah, Ghost Ranger.
Ghost Ranger suit.
Muteki, I will keep saying boobies because it's funnier than saying breasts.
I mean, I want to say, honestly, the Ghost Ranger suit, the white with the shoulder pads, honestly, underrated suit.
I like
really
it.
Like that
I think what throws me off is I wish the helmet was white as well.
Yeah, I wish the Ranger, the helmet should change, but honestly, it's a really cool upgrade for the Fury suits. It's really cool, honestly.
Gold Ranger Morpher, you can get Mr. Baby Packy, and we know that Simon Bennett has one, so I wonder if there's two out there.
Probably.
Yeah.
I love little baby Packy.
Dino Fury.
Is that
the Dino Fury cycle?
Bike head?
It's the bike head. Yeah, it's the bike head, which is crazy.
It's just the head. I find it interesting.
Oh, Zelchak said no Morphin Master suit. I know there was only two suits because it was just male and female. We do know. That's the thing that I think that the Beast Morphers thing being digital color is possible because they only had two suits for the Morphin Masters, one male, one female, and then they digitally colored them. But I think they kept those.
Those I feel like they would have kept because it feels like that's something important.
Who knows? Maybe they're in Simon Bennett's office.
Probably that, but also like the Morphin Master feels like something they would just reuse again because
it also feels like in the same way that Spirit Rangers and Titanium Ranger are like historic American only suits, like Power Rangers only suits. Like they may have kept them for that. Some more weapons, but they did not keep Solon. Our girl. There may be a couple Solons in existence. This may not be the only Solon. Right?
Yeah, no, I don't think I could think they could have gone the whole show with just one suit.
I think they probably have a second Solon they may have kept. And then here's Evil Ollie, which is officially Evil Blue Ranger.
This Evil Blue Ranger is like nothing something cool.
And a second version of his saber. You can get the saber with him or the saber without. And then we get the Cosmic Fury suits. And I do not know the production history of Power Rangers. Of Cosmic Fury. I doubt these are the only copies of these Cosmic Fury suits.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't know any production that has one copy of a suit unless it's for Power Rangers. A Monster of the Week may only have one version of the suit. That makes sense to me.
But a suit that goes through a lot of stunts, that's gonna get dirty fast. So they had to make some multiple copies.
Also, they did put an action hammer with the hero suit, and then there's also an extra hammer as well. There's two things up for it as well. So it's interesting, but it is, we got Cosmic Fury Red, Cosmic Fury Black. Again, there's two sets of the weapons. So if you were to bid on the suit, you would get the weapon, and then you get a second weapon. There's a second weapon also up for auction.
Here's your Cosmic Fury toys, guys.
I know. This is nothing in this auction made me sad until this, because this is like, man, we couldn't even get toys of these. But I would say they probably kept a set of the Cosmic Fury costumes.
Yeah, no, because again, it'd be baffling they only just have one.
Yeah.
Of these suits.
And then here is Orange and her weapons, and then here is Blue.
5-8. Wouldn't they also digitally remove the World Escape, Roxy's forehead for the yellow version?
Maybe. I mean, I also could have been able to color it out with just the yellow would have been enough to get rid of it.
Yeah.
There's also a set of 6 Cosmic Morphers, which have colored straps to tell which Ranger they go with, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know they had that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think it's just hidden. It was just so production would know who to give who. The Sentinel Sword, and then there's Sentinels up for sale, and the Cosmic Hero Blaster. The Cosmic Blaster.
I love the Sentinels design.
They're so scrungly. There's also a pair of Cosmic Fury Morphers and 16 orbs.
16?
Yeah,
My God.
which is, I guess, just every version of the orb they needed for filming. Plus the Sentinels, and then there's another Zed staff, and there's that freaking creepy baby scuttle worm thing.
Oh my God, they're selling that prop? Oh God.
I would sell that prop too, I'm going to be honest.
It's cursed. A cursed being.
AR says, this makes me want to watch Cosmic Fury. You should. It's fun. It's like my favorite season past RPM. A hot take, but like I liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Cosmic Fury gets too much hate.
It does. I think for a 10 episode like season that
Kids
was like
TV,
throw the formula out. We're doing our own thing. I love it. I love when shows do that.
Also, more look at Skull. It's live action Silky from Teen Titans.
It is. Sentinels, Putties from Once and Always, Alpha from Once and Always, but no head on the Alpha, which is weird.
He got decapitated. No.
Or it was the one that Robo Rita killed.
Yeah.
There's another Robo Rita. Here's Billy's suit from Once and Always and Cosmic Fury. Here and now we're in the Once and Always suits with their props as well.
You can tell because all the gloves and boots had that texture on them.
Yeah, they also have Adam and Aisha's SPA uniforms.
That's cool.
Here's the Green Ranger from Once and Always without the shield. Don't know where the shield went. Dragon Dagger. Here's the astronaut suit. There's two of them, and it's included.
I won't be surprised they kept the shield because they know the shield's cool.
Yeah.
Like mine.
And then we get to Next Mutation.
All right. Now we get to the most.
Splinter half lives. The upper half of Splinter. No arms, no legs, no inner body. Just his head and his jacket are in this auction.
My sons. No, it's back to the sewer. They had their front pickaxe Splinter together.
It includes one animatronic headpiece made of foam, resin, synthetic hair, and lined with an interior cotton fabric, and one brown-green faux suede coat with resin and fabric accents.
Why does the Splinter suit photo look so sad?
I know. Here is a Leonardo head. Here is a Donatello head. Here is a Raphael head. Here is a Michelangelo head with the eye slots visible. And here is a Venus de Milo head. They actually live-ish.
Better condition than the Turtle 3 heads.
I know, right? They're in better condition than the Turtles 3 heads. The suits probably are gone for sure. Like, they're rubber suits. They're dead by now. But the heads exist.
Those probably disintegrated.
There also is a set of Raph, Venus, Mikey, and Donnie as a head displays.
You think I won't be sure the turtle stuff is probably gone away right away because those like turtle media. We're talking about something that will sell right away. Even it's the worst part of the franchise is turtle stuff.
Yep, I think those will sell high. I think the turtles.
They don't have the shred. They don't have the awful shredder helmet.
They don't have anything else. All right, Beetleborgs. This is interesting. So there's a group of 3 weapons, and it's the Astral Launcher or the Lightning Cannon. There's the Thunder Stinger. The Beat Ingram, and then there is this one, which is the weapon for the super mode for Blue, right? But it was repainted and reused as the Sonic Blaster in RPM, and it's still like that here. It was never.
I didn't know they reused that prop.
They did. RPM. Dr. K, when she goes to save Ziggy from the mob, like hits everybody with a Sonic cannon. It's just it's the Beetleborgs blaster from the super mode, repainted with a little like dish put on the end, and it's still here. It should be technically in the RPM section, but they're like, well, it was originally in Beetleborg, so we'll put it here. Fascinating. There's also a set of 4 helmets of the 4 hero Beetleborgs from the original series, which is pretty cool. And then there's a group of 3 helmets from Metallics, which includes it's the B from the villains. What were they called?
I forgot. I mean, a while since
or whatever they were called.
The Mantrix, yeah. And then it's got the 2 of the helmets from Mega Spectra.
Question: did they have the 2 male heroes that make cameos, or was that B fighter footage?
That was all B fighter footage. They never had. Damn it! New footage for Jan.
Wait, that means Captain Chalky was borrowed. Then
yes,
it was not in Beast Wars section.
Captain Chalky was borrowed because he's not here. There's 4 helmets here that are a mixture of helmets. Another set of helmets. There's Shadowborg's helmet, which is pretty cool. This one's interesting. So they have the Astralborg helmets, and they put a picture from Forever Red here because these are they were modified. They took the antennas off. Really? The antennas may have broken, but they took antennas off of Dragonborg, Ladyborg, and Fireborg. They also put Fireborg's head on Lightningborg's body, But these 4 helmets, they put the Forever Red photo because that actually matches with them missing the antennas.
So attention to detail right there.
Yeah. That's why I say whoever put this auction together knows the stuff. And so anything that got misplaced is just happenstance. Then we got the Masked Rider suit.
Yep. This has the Black RX right here.
I gotta tell you guys, the Masked Rider suit is funny because they don't even have the rights to the show, but they still had these kicking around. They're like, well, time to sell them.
Well, because that means this is probably American made then?
Yeah.
I won't be surprised.
This is going to be American made because by that point, the Black RX suit was gone by the time they shot Masked Rider. It had been like, what was it? Masked Rider was what, 95? And Black RX was 89?
Yeah, old.
It was gone. And the crazy part, there's 3 of them.
You
in different conditions. There's a hero costume, and there's 2 action costumes in various conditions.
It's funny because the Black RX, the Masked Rider suit, does look more puffier than the Black RX suit, to me at least. It looks puffier.
I think it's also because of the mannequin stuff.
Yeah, that too.
Black RX was 98, but it ended in 90. Black RX was 88, but it ended in 89.
You gotta also think, look how it's also like degrading as well. Like,
yeah.
The color fading.
The color's faded.
The hero suit honestly doesn't look too bad, but the action suits are dying.
Yeah, those got exploded.
But the thing that always, having done research on Masked Rider's production and having interviewed their stunt director, I really want to know why they went with the option of Michi Yamato also needing to be in. Like, I feel like part of that.
Is Dex's like copy? Is Dex's copy like copy jacket?
I don't know if it was budget or Toei demanded
budget.
At least he had to be in the suit.
Yeah. Anyways,
remember he is a student of the actual fighter side of the Toei school before it closed down. You know, the action.
I do love they just give Dex Koshiro's same jacket, so they can just use stock footage.
They use that trick later with Power Rangers, the female villains as well, like Nadira and others. All right, weapons. There's a bunch of weapons that just are orphaned weapons that they don't have suits to match with. Just a lot of weapons on this thing, and it's crazy. There's so much in this auction. That we still have pages and pages to go. And then there we go. We find here we go. A group of 100 assorted Power Rangers paper goods, which also include like advertisements for Peanuts and Garfield and X-Men. Just stuff they had. There's some VR Troopers material in here. It's the only VR Trooper stuff you can find. There's also a group of 100 plus Power Rangers toys and games, which include the Japanese versions of Kyoryuger toys, like the Gabutier de Carnival and that Judenshi box set that they probably pulled all their Judenshi from.
I'm probably surprised the VR Trooper like American helmet thingies, the MMPR red like repaints are not here. Honestly,
my guess is they sold those in one of the prior auctions.
Yeah, that probably was under Shuki Levy, probably.
Yeah, because Shuki Levy's production was VR Troopers, and his word was law for very bad reasons.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. Anyways. If you guys want the terms and conditions of the auction, I will not read these out to you, but that takes up the last few pages here. And apparently they're auctioning off old movie posters, including The Son of Frankenstein, which
that's the thing Sal gets. Yeah, that's the thing Sal gets in this auction.
Yes. And there's a couple of shots of some suits at the end. That was the catalog. I'm done talking, guys. I'm done. We did so much.
It's such
I'm glad we went through it all though, because I had only skimmed it because I had been working on the Dragon Ball video last week, so I actually hadn't taken a deep dive into it. And I thought,
honestly, like I'm not just sad to see all these props being sold off. It's honestly just a cool behind the scenes of how the show work. And honestly, that's the most. I love prop history. I love like watching behind the scenes of prop making
and if we as a fandom do our job, we can preserve these photos and information forever, and that way we always have this info. I think that's the best part about this. The best part of any auction of props is you can get high-quality looks at props and costumes from auctions that you would not get in any other circumstance. And I love it. So, that's it, guys. We did 4 hours. Speed round.
Whoops.
Plug your stuff. Go.
Follow me at Darko643 on YouTube and Twitter. I do art commissions on the 20Z's Raid channel. You want any, feel free to commission me. I had to head off now because I have work tomorrow. So have a nice night, guys.
And I have training for work.
Kaus,
You
talk
too,
about your
Kaus.
stream tomorrow quickly. Go for it.
4 p.m. Twitch.tv/FighterCounts. You put the link there. I'm gonna stream KOF.
Maybe.
and my social media is the same name. Fighter Cows on X/Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do web comics and art as well, so check that out.
Yeah. Wheels, go.
All
Hero
right. You can check us out at hero-club.com. You can follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch.tv, so on and so forth. Our most recent interview that's on the site as well as our YouTube channel is with Ultraman Greats Dore Kraus, who was the star of the show and played the host of Ultraman Great, Jack Shindo. You might know it under the name of Ultraman Towards the Future. The link to it is here in the chat.
Yeah. So on that, I'm making videos this week. You'll find out what they are later because I've already forgotten what they are because I'm tired and we've been going 4 hours. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around for this. I hope you enjoyed looking through the catalog with us. I think that was a fun way to do it. And we'll be back next week with New York Comic-Con news recap. That's going to be an adventure for sure. So we'll see you all next time.